Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wait, hold on. Let me go to the stream over here. See if that's good. That's good. That's good. That's like double the freaking double the echo. All right, let's see.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Chat, let us know if you can hear everything correctly. I want to make sure everything is good before we keep going. Stream health. Stream is good. Better be excellent. I pay for good internet. The stream health better be healthy. Shit. What up, guys? Ace Dracon, Drake Michael, Drag Michael, Drake. What the freak is that? Is that Dracon's alternate account or something? Like, what's going on here? Snow Owl, what up? Kami, what up, man? Ace, what up? It's Salazar Naruto, the man, the myth himself. What up? Ricardo's in the building. What up, guys? How's everybody doing this fine Sunday evening? It's an early podcast start, and it might be a normal thing from now on. We'll see how it goes. Maybe 4:30ish. Want to make sure we're in. Want to make sure we're out. I don't want to keep everybody so late. You know, Sunday is a beautiful day, and I want everybody to enjoy all their Sunday and not have to be like, oh, after 5:00, my Sunday is pretty much done. Like, nah, we can get in and get out. You know, so you could still have some Sunday left. It feels like all the Drakes are you, Ace Dracon. That's the canon I'm going with. All right, you got multiple accounts. That's you in the alternate universe. Somehow he's made to connect to his universe. I'm gonna take it as that. All right, let me see. Everything looks good. Ultra low latency. Activity. Let's see.
Oh, brother.
What happened?
Oh, nothing. Ads. I need to put this ad blocker back up.
Are you still playing Daybreak 2?
Not right now, but I'm doing post game stuff.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. I about to say, well, you doing like a third playthrough or something? Like, Jesus.
No, I guess I'll talk about it when we just talk about what we've been playing.
All right, cool. What's everybody in the chat doing on this Sunday? Appreciate the early time. Got work at 2 a.m. Damn, 2 a.m. Oof, that sucks.
What kind of shift?
That's
graveyard
like
shift, right?
That's kind of graveyard shift, but that's actually not too bad. If you get out at 8:00, or like what would that be? Like 9 hours? That's not.
I don't know
terrible.
about that. Yeah, I don't know about that though.
Like your sleep schedule would be a little bit messed up. I don't think I could ever do overnight anywhere unless I was like really desperate and I was about to get like evicted from my apartment or something. Then I had no choice. What that makes you think? Oh, the Drakes. I mean, yeah, it's all you. My Sunday is playing Persona 3R. Okay, yeah, that's what I keep saying. I'm gonna get back to that because I want to do the answer. Alternate me better hand over his wallet. Yeah. What up, Momar? Started the Final Fantasy VII Remake Yuffie DLC today. You know what's crazy about that? I don't think I've ever. I don't think I played the Yuffie DLC for Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I'm trying to figure out did I actually need to, because I think Yuffie was already joined the party in Rebirth. Yeah, she did. So maybe I didn't play it. I just never did. It's Black Ace. What up? All right, everything looks good. Playing Daybreak 2 and enjoying it so far. I'm gonna get a Daybreak 2 at some point. I don't know when. Definitely. When does Horizon come out late this year, right? Like a
Yeah, Q4.
Yeah, hopefully I'll have Daybreak 2 done by then because I plan to finish up Yumiya. I'm not gonna go to Xenoblade probably, or maybe I am. I'm not sure. And then after that, I don't think there's anything else, or maybe a Lunar Collection or Suikoden, whatever. $10 super chat from Ricardo Belmont. Things are heating up. The Nintendo fans are arguing. Everyone suddenly has a PhD in how DMC Dante should act, and can you spot the non-Final Fantasy game? What's the non-Final Fantasy game? I haven't watched that DMC Netflix one. You guys have? I haven't seen that one just yet.
No. Also, he's talking about Bravely Default.
Oh, Bravely Default. Okay, the non-Final Fantasy. All right, that's true.
No, I almost considered it, but then I remembered who cares about Devil May Cry when it comes to a story. I did hear some of the fight scenes were cool, but I don't know. I'm just not interested.
It's weird.
I've never been interested. I actually never even decided to watch one of the trailers when it first got announced. I was like, I don't know. Just left it alone.
Yeah, same for me. But you played all the DMCs, right?
No, I only played up to 3.
Okay, I played up to 4. I never played 5. And the thing is, I loved all of them except for even 2. Even at the time that 2 was just like weird and it just wasn't as good. I still like 2. It's weird, but yeah, I liked all the Devil May Cry. I just stopped. I just didn't bother to keep going with 5, except for the remake one. I definitely didn't fuck with that.
Only thing I like about DMC 2 was Dante's outfit design in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he looked badass in that. Like he had like a red or black vest or something like that, and something else. He looked really cool. But I used to use that picture of him as avatars when I was cruising the message droids in the early gaming days. I'm old as shit, you know. But yeah, I used to think DMC2 Dante was everything. Was really cool. But
I'm surprised this Minecraft movie surpassed Sonic and Mario for video game movie to make the most money.
Well, it's a Minecraft, really? So I guess that makes sense. Minecraft.
I guess, but like, I just didn't think people would come out for it and support it like that. That's crazy.
What did you think?
I mean, there's a whole generation that
you think it was going to do as bad as Snow White?
No, I just didn't know it was going to do as well to surpass the top 2.
Damn,
that's all.
I think Minecraft is as I think it's like the last generation's Mario. To be quite fair, it's pretty big.
A Mario comparison, probably. You're probably.
I think so. I think like right Mario was kind of it's like our generation's like game that like everyone probably played at some point or the other. And I think Minecraft is the last generation's game that everyone played at some point. You know, so. Mm-hmm.
You might be right. Yeah. Did you take your kids to go see it?
No, I haven't seen it yet. It looks interesting. We just haven't had the opportunity. So who knows? Maybe it might be possible, but yeah, not yet. Have you seen it?
Nah, I don't plan to see it. I never was interested in Minecraft. The
only time
I'm gonna see it if it's on Netflix or on Peacock or on Paramount, whatever it is. I'll probably just randomly put it on one day just to watch. I still haven't seen the Super Mario movie.
Really? Oh no, that was good. That was.
I was hearing those.
That was pretty good.
Never actually.
I didn't see the Sonic ones, but I've definitely seen. I've heard good things about the Sonic movies.
Yeah,
but
they're
Mario
all
one was
pretty
good.
much really good. No, like there's not a weak.
Yeah.
It's not a weak movie. I don't think.
I think the only reason I haven't.
He don't like any of them.
Oh, the Sonic movies.
Yeah.
The only reason I haven't seen
three were fine movies. The first one was trash.
The first one was trash.
Wait, which one are you talking about?
In my opinion, the Sonic movies.
Oh, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was trash, but it was okay.
Yeah, third one is easily the best one. Easily.
I mean, it's got Idris Elba in it, isn't it? Isn't he playing Knuckles or something?
Yeah, Idris plays Knuckles. I think someone else plays something too.
Yeah, Shadow played by what's his name?
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm imagining that. Keanu Reeves shadow. John Wick.
Great.
Is my mic low? Is it super low? Can you guys not hear me enough? Because I thought it was fine. Because I thought it was fine. Sounds.
I think that's one person.
Yeah, it might just.
Someone said it's fine for me.
I don't think I can even put myself up anymore.
Is the podcast in stereo audio format, or is it just mono audio?
It should be in stereo. I think every time you live, it should be stereo. I don't think I have an option to do mono.
Because I'm thinking like if it's sometimes when you stream, if you have it at stereo, your audio is on one channel and our audio is on a separate channel, and so if someone has a headset where it's lower in one ear or something, they'll probably hear you lower. But I don't know.
All right, hold on.
It's a possibility.
Let me lower the desktop volume. Let me know if that's better, guys. I lowered the desktop volume just a little bit, so you guys could hear me a little bit better.
You said everyone else is louder, yeah.
Yeah, let me put that down a little bit. Because sometimes some people aren't using good mics, or some people don't have their mics right in front of them. So it's like I gotta make sure they're all loud.
I don't know what you're trying to say, man. Say it with your chest.
I'm just saying.
All right, man.
Yeah. Okay. So that hopefully should be good. Trying to make sure everybody's volume is good. Everyone else is like 15%. Really? Has it always been like that? I don't even know if I can put my mic volume up anymore. Let's see. Microphone. Or is it Audacity? It's probably Audacity. Let me see. Audio setup, playback devices, recording device. Nope. Okay, that's all right. Let's see if this works. I'm not sure if this is gonna work. Put it up at 80%. Let me know if the guys that was any better. I'm not sure. Okay. All right. Let's get this party started. HPMP JRPG Podcast, episode 113. We're live on Google Play, SoundCloud, and wherever else you get your podcast services. There's about maybe 3 episodes with this one that are missing. So I think I'm going to upload all 3 in succession soon. So you'll get it all on there and you'll have something to listen to. Appreciate you guys being with us this Sunday evening. And let's get started with these intros. Go ahead, Ba.
Welcome, everyone. Another HPMP podcast. A bit earlier than usual, so we're happy to see you here. Got a lot to talk about with the Switch 2 blowout and some other things. So hope you enjoy your Sundays, and let's get into it.
All right. Q.
It is I, your husband of dreams. We're here to talk about that Switch goodness, as Bao just said. Yeah, let's get into it.
All right, Riku.
Riku's on one, the only one. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Like they said, let's get into these topics. We got some good stuff here and some concerning stuff as well.
Really concerning shit. Like, goddamn, these games, these prices.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, and you know me, Mr. JRPG Shadow. We coming back with regular videos now. I'm gonna have a video up hopefully sometime this week because your boy's gonna be leaving for Japan in about a week. So hopefully there's a video uploaded there. We'll see how that folds out. But if you go always hit the like button if you are here, it really does help out a lot because your boy's trying to get back into the algorithm's good graces. All right, so real quick, as usual, what's everybody out here in these streets playing right now? What's going on? I'll start this off first. Still trying to finish up Atelier Yumiya. Still a pretty good game. Yeah, that price tag of 70, I don't believe in too much, but that's about all I've been playing. It's been pretty good so far. Things are starting to heat up a lot more. I still don't like the fact that we level up massively fast. This game is definitely a departure from your usual Atelier games. But after that, I'm probably gonna end up playing either Lunar or Daybreak 2. We'll see how that folds out. But yeah, Bob, what are you playing?
Well, I've been trying to play Xenoblade X, but life has just been busy, so I haven't been able to put too much time into it, to my chagrin. I don't remember my exact hours, so I'm only like level 27, which isn't super far in the game. Like, I just had my first skill and everything.
Oh, isn't that's like
But
a
we're
couple
working through
hours,
it.
isn't it?
That's like 20, 25 hour mark, I want to say, if I had to guesstimate.
Okay. Q, what are you playing?
Still just hopping on this Switch every chance I get, and just sorry, it's not Switch, sorry, Steam Deck. Sorry,
Not to say it's like,
every chance I get, yeah. I haven't touched my Switch in ages. I don't even know if that thing is charged. But yeah, I hop on the Steam Deck every now and then, just getting some use out of it, bit by bit when I get a chance. Usually just pop into games that you could pop in quick, pop back out. But yeah, I'll probably use it a bit next week because it's like school break from next week, and supposed to just do a little family trip. So on that trip, I am going to be around my in-laws, and they all speak a different language. So I'm gonna need that Steam Deck. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Riku?
Still playing Daybreak 2. I beat the game, so I'm just messing around with post game, which I didn't even know there was. Apparently, this was added via DLC. So they added some surprising things that I wasn't expecting. That, at least from a gameplay standpoint, is making me enjoy it more. So that's good. I heard there's a little extra cutscene that they added in that DLC that's supposed to allude to where the next game is headed. But I heard the cutscene isn't anything like super crazy like how it was at the end of Cold Steel 4 Reveries. So it's not like that crazy, but it's a little extra. I can definitely see why people were hyping up the final boss. I will definitely say that it is amongst the best final bosses in the franchise, so I will give it that. Does it make up for the Act 3 that everyone has been dreading? I think it depends on who you ask. If you ask me, I say that for me, it levels it out. It doesn't. I would say this is probably the first time that I would say that the build up, the payoff did not outweigh the build up. It kind of leveled it out for me. So I don't think it came out in the negative. It kind of just leveled it out. So that ending was very, very strong. But that Act 3, man, oh man, I can understand if anyone holds this game. I can understand if that act anyone holds this game because of that act. That's all I'll say about it.
Okay. So if I hate on Act 3 and I'm messaging you, I'm like, yo, this game sucks, this game is terrible, fuck this game, you're gonna be like, yeah, I get it.
Yep. Yeah. I'm not defending. If I said this to myself, I was like, bro, you know how I am, man. If someone came for Cold Steel 4, square the fuck up. I will defend that game to the day I die. Right? Everyone always talking about Act 2 of Cold Steel 4, blah 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 blah, this and that. I will defend it. But if someone came up to me and it was like, Daybreak 2 Act 3 sucks, fuck this game, hey, you got it, man. I'm gonna fall back. You got it. So that should say something about that. I would like to give a tier list, but I think that's for another day. So we'll leave it at that.
We got a $20 cranberry super chat. Thank you very much, sir. Good to have the pod this week and early too. Have fun visiting those maid calves in Japan, Shadow. We might have to start calling you the husbando of dreams. Oh man, we taking titles out here. I love the sound of that. Actually, I don't even know if I'm going to be going to maid calves, but I've been eyeing a post on X that there's a Nikke collab store or something like that in Akihabara. I think so. I'm definitely going there. Yes, yeah, Bob, I'm going there. Yeah. It's Nikke. Yeah, I like Nikke. I ain't ashamed to say it.
We know.
Okay, all right. That's my bread and butter right there. I love that game. All right, gameplay, story. Yeah, I'm telling you, the story in Nikke is 10 out of 10. It's 10 out of 10. Better than most JRPGs.
I'm sure.
I'm telling you. See,
really?
See, people.
Are you trolling?
No, I'm not. People, I'm serious. That story is so good. Like, there are just times in the story where I'm like, I gotta stop for a second. I'm like, this shit is getting heavy. Holy shit! At the
ass jiggling on screen.
You see, that's the whole thing. I don't even blame people like Bob for thinking that way. But it when you get down to the real nitty gritty story, that shit is so good. It is so fucking good. It rivals maybe Freight Grand Order when it comes to story in a gacha
another
game.
gacha game.
Well, for gacha games, I'm talking about gacha game standards, not like a regular game. But yeah, Nikke is actually a pretty good story. But yeah, thank you Cranberry for the super chat.
Never actually heard anyone praise the story. So
of course not. You're just gonna have the just praising the asses and the animations. Yeah, that's all you're gonna really hear unless you go like deep into it somewhere and like you are actually talking about the story. It's like, wow, the story is actually pretty freaking real, and it's really good. It's good. Blake, are you there?
Yo, what's up?
What up, Blake? See, you're here. I thought you were going to be here a little bit later. Appreciate you jumping on as soon as you were done with your stuff.
Nah, yeah, I literally got done at work and I just took my shoes off and got my computer turned on because I finish work at 4:15 every Sunday.
Okay. All right, cool. Thanks, man. So yeah, Blake, we're just in the middle of what you've been playing so far.
Dude, right now, this is the part where I would love to tell you that I've been playing Xenoblade X and that I finished Xenoblade X, but I might have put X on the back burner because I've been hot glued to Assassin's Creed. I've been so fucking deep in this world right now. I finally got Yasuke, and I am loving the story in the world so far. It has hooked me, and I am infatuated. So to speak.
Top tier Assassin's Creed game.
I'd say so far it's turning to be my favorite, but we'll see how I feel towards the end because what gets me with a lot of Assassin's Creed games is towards the end, either the story will break down or they'll shove way too much mandatory, I guess not mandatory exploration, but there'll be too much bloat towards the end. So far it feels like everything is manageable, but one of the reasons I did not like Valhalla as much is because Valhalla had so much padding, it just kind of made it painful to finish. But so far, I would consider it. It'll definitely be probably in my top 3 next to Assassin's Creed 2. And I haven't played Black Flag yet, but I have a feeling I'd probably love Black Flag.
Yeah, something tells me because I feel like when everyone talks about Assassin's Creed now, they consider Black Flag the best one. For a long time, it seemed like everyone was like it was Assassin's Creed 2. Now it seems like everyone's saying it's Black Flag.
All right. Yeah, I thought Black Flag was the best one. After it came out, it was like really everybody was saying it's actually pretty good.
It's
like
weird because
combat was good.
Yeah, because I remember when it first came out, I don't remember anyone praising it like that. It felt like it kind of came and went. But then, like a year or two after Black Flag came out, everyone's like, this game is actually the best in the franchise. I'm like, huh? All right, yeah, I got
it. That revisionist history comes at you fast.
For that one, it hit them pretty quickly.
I thought Black Flag was already like considered the GOAT from launch or something. Didn't know it was didn't know people didn't like it at first. I thought it was
It's funny because I own Black Flag, but it's the Wii U version.
Oh god, no!
Yikes. Ew!
Ow!
God!
Hey, listen,
Wii U!
Listen,
Ew!
The Wii U version is better than the 360 and PS3 version.
Yeah, just you mentioned Wii U, and that's just disgusting. Oh my god!
Hey man, listen, it's the Wind Waker machine now because we're not getting Wind Waker HD on Switch.
Oh, let's not even get on that horrible news.
All right. Let's get into the first topic. Couple of weeks back or a week or two back. Raidou Kuzunoha. I don't know if I said that right, but Raidou has gotten.
Kuzunoha.
Okay, I did. Okay, I guess I did. Is getting an HD remaster. I think it's pretty much coming out to everything, but it was revealed at Direct. It's been a long time since we've seen this game. It was on the PS2 and it never got ported since. I for one have never played it. I've always I remember back in the day where I would go to GameStop and I would be in this awe of all the games and all the RPGs that I was just getting introduced to, and I would see that game and I'd be like, the cover doesn't look that interesting to me. I'm not really feeling this. Maybe some other time. But I'm hearing some good things about this one. That it's actually a pretty fun game, and plus it's like action based, and I was really only interested in turn based games back then. So it seems that they're adding a lot of new stuff to this one to make it just simply a remaster. Like they're adding new demons and such. So, Bao, I'm pretty sure you got more experience with this one than I do. What are your thoughts here?
Well, I have indeed played both Raidou games. This is cool to finally see it get released because this was technically kind of leaked a while back with something on Steam. I think like achievements or something, but yeah. Raidou's coming back, and it doesn't look like a simple remaster. Like the visuals look very overdone. They've changed some of the battle systems. The craziest thing is that they've gone back and put demons from SMT5 in this, which is kind of nuts.
Would you consider this a remaster? To be honest, this looks like a remake to me.
It's bordering, it's bordering on remake for sure. Like I gotta see more.
What makes it not what makes it not past that threshold for a remake for you? Why do you say just bordering?
You can tell it's still the same engine, so it's not like remade. Like it's the same graphics and everything. They're just very upper S and all that.
Is it the same graphics? All right, I'll take your word for that.
I think I'm pretty sure it
Gotta see more to be sure of that, but like just going for like the battles, like yeah, this is what I played, just prettier.
So
I mean, forget it.
Nah, go
Let's
ahead.
continue. Oh, I was gonna say, I don't know. I feel like when you say remake, usually the gameplay is usually 1-to-1. So I don't know. Yeah, like they'll add a few things here and there, but like it should feel like the game you've played. Just it looks a lot better. And then
Isn't this what this
like,
is?
Well, yeah, the gameplay is the same. It's just that you're getting more demons, it seems. So I don't know all the full list of everything that changes gameplay.
It's probably because the word remake has been sullied by stuff like Final Fantasy VII Remake, where it's literally not even the same subgenre anymore. So that's probably why. But I'm interested in it. It looks pretty cool.
I will say, keep your expectations in check. Even in its heyday, Raidou was just a PS2 action game. And not Devil May Cry 3.
Okay, fair enough.
So even with these improvements, just be sure you know what you're getting into.
Would you say like it's like action gameplay on like maybe the tier of like an Ys game or something like that? Like simple but fast paced? No.
Because Ys,
I mean that's what I consider Ys. I don't consider Ys one of those. Like some people consider like I don't remember Lady Pelvic saying she puts like Ys Memory Cell Seta on like Tales of Grace's F level. Like I don't. You know. I think Ys is like a simple, fast action RPG, you know, but simplicity is like its key thing. Is this game, from a gameplay standpoint, like, is it like pretty simple, but not in like a bad way?
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
And also they're improving it, so like I said, from everything I'm saying is based on the version I play, which is the PS2 versions. Could be a completely different ball game.
Now, I got a couple of questions about. I feel like when Nocturne HD Remaster came out, there was some backlash, not a lot, but some backlash that it was a bare minimum remaster. Why do we think that, you know, Raidou is, why do you think Raidou is getting a more better treatment?
I mean, this game looks different, like visually compared to the original. Like if you actually compare screenshots, it looks like very different in terms of like graphical up-res. And also, like I said, they're changing things to the battle system where Nocturne is just Nocturne.
Yeah, Nocturne, that was an HD port. Or
Yeah, so but why didn't they put more emphasis on Nocturne, like giving Nocturne, more demons, more gameplay, whatever have you, but they decided to do it for this one.
I think maybe it's because of the fact that they've seen more interest in games like these, and maybe that's the reason. Because probably when they did Nocturne, it wasn't confirmed that people were going to be like, yeah, I'm going to get this kind of thing. Maybe the numbers speak enough for them to say, hey, we can put a bit more into it. That's what I'm thinking anyway.
I think it's the times. You know how when Final Fantasy X Remaster came out, there were certain quality of life mechanics that were not the norm as of yet. So if you went back and played Final Fantasy VII Remaster right now, some people would criticize it for not having things like fast forward and whatnot. But during the time that Final Fantasy X Remaster came out, that wasn't a norm thing yet. It came a couple years later, so if Final Fantasy X Remaster got remastered today, it would have it because it's the norm. I think around, at least from Atlus's perspective, it seems like when they decided to bring Shin Megami Tensei 3 to modern platforms, their efforts in regards to bringing their classics over aren't what they are today. So I'm saying is, I feel like if they did SMT3 today, I think it may have gotten something similar of a treatment to what this is getting right now. Does it make sense?
I feel like I get what you're coming from, but I feel like for Nocturne, it was a rush job because they were trying to get it out before Shin Megami Tensei 4 came out.
That's what even called Nocturne a rush job. I mean, they added full voice acting to the game, which is not an easy task.
True. Good point. Good point.
I think the thing though is that like people look at that as not really a big deal. And it's not like it's not a big deal, but like
what, dub or
no,
dub.
like voice acting. It's seen as it's seen as like the bare min, like not that big a thing. Whereas like with graphics and stuff, because gaming is a visual sort of thing. I think that gets people's attention more. So like when you look at this, you think, wow, this does look better than the original. Whereas if they just say, oh, there's voice acting now, people are, okay. It still looks the same kind of thing.
So one last thing I'll say about this is you guys know me. I'm on my frame rate FPS life. I couldn't help but notice that, Nocturne had an issue being unlocked when it came to its frame rate. But this game seems to be okay running at 60 FPS. Nocturne running at 30, but for some reason, Raiho gets the 60 FPS treatment. What's going on there?
I don't know what's under the hood of these two games, so I can't comment on that. That's a technical thing.
Which one came out first? Was it Nocturne? No, Nocturne came out first on the PS2, and then this one, right?
Don't recall.
Okay.
Also, did Raidou run at 30 FPS on PS2, or was it 60? Because I know PS2 did have 60 FPS games.
I feel like it's 30. I mean, I don't know.
MGS2 is 60 FPS on PS2, which is crazy.
I don't know if Younger Shadow would have realized that, but okay.
Just looked it up. All SMT games on PS2 are 30 frames in game.
Are 30 frames in game, but for some reason they weren't able to obtain Nocturne at 30 FPS at 60 FPS because it's gonna speed up the game and stuff like that. But Raiho, you can do it. Okay, cool story. Cool story, Atlas. Cool story, everybody that gives an excuse. Keep my 60 frames. Anyway, that's all for Raidou. Let's go on. Let's move on. Another thing that was announced maybe a week or two ago. Trails Beyond the Horizon is coming faster than we thought, or otherwise known as Kai no Kizaki, as some people might.
Why do you have to fucking do his nose? Wait a minute.
I do not. That is not canon. I do not sound like that.
That is crazy.
That's filler. That's definitely filler. That's filler. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Side character. I don't know what that is.
So yeah, Riku. So we're on this. I'm really surprised. We were talking about it a little bit before the podcast. We saw Daybreak 2 coming out this year, and we thought that what is it? NIS can't do 2 localizations at once, and it seems that they are doing that. But I would guess the bulk of Daybreak 2 was probably done in 2024, and they just decided to release it in February of 2025. So technically, they technically didn't release a game in 2025, technically, because, you know what I'm saying, like, the localization was already done in 2024, so they have time to focus on this new one. That's my guess, and maybe I'm completely off there. But yeah, Riku, tell us how excited you are for this game coming out in English.
I'm pretty damn hype. As far as I'm hearing from the people who have played it, I have yet to seen someone that doesn't have it in their top tier of Trails games, usually in their top 3, if not always. So I'll be surprised if it can break my top 3, because I really like my top 3. Trails Beyond the Horizon's release date is definitely surprising to me as well, because I saw one dude on Twitter. I just posted his tweet in the live comment section for you guys, if you can even see it, because I think he may have privated his Twitter. I don't know. But the point is, this guy, he predicted that we would be getting this game this year. And back when Daybreak got its announcement, he predicted that as well. And I think he may have predicted E's 10s. So he was saying that we would get this year. And a lot of people like me and Shadow and whatnot, we're like, I don't know. We could understand that NIS is speeding things up, but like 2 mainline Trails games in 1 year, that just sounds not impossible, but very unlikely. Very, very, very unlikely. So I think that was one of the biggest surprises, was the fact that we are getting 2 mainline Trails games this year. I think another reason a decent amount of people were not expecting it this year was because we thought for the second half of this year, if it came to Falcon games, the game people's eyes would be focused on would be, Trails in the Sky First Chapter Remake, which comes out in September. So for Trails Beyond the Horizon to also come out around Q4, a lot of people are like, we don't know if Falcon wants to step on their own toes when it comes to bringing out the games. I think Blake also said, is like, do they really want to release it around games like GTA and whatnot? So it's like it was a lot of moving.
Hold on, guys. Having some difficulties here. Hold on. I don't know what happened. Give me a second. Almost. No. All right, hold on.
Everybody just bust on the bus.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
I guess you're in the chat.
Okay, yeah. We should be good now.
Okay. Chat. Put a 1 if you can hear us, if everything's good.
Put a 2 if you like me instead of Riku.
Lord?
Hey, let's go with the 2. Let's go.
That too is very typical. Anyway, so like I was saying about really Ace, like I was saying about
Needs a
Trails Beyond the
2.
Horizon.
Damn.
They like I said, we weren't expecting it very close to Trails in the Sky First Chapter Remake, because I was telling him that I don't feel like a lot of people who the Trails in the Sky First Chapter Remake was made for are also the people that Trails Beyond the Horizon would be advertised to, because
No, they wouldn't.
people who have not played a Trails game and they see Beyond the Horizon, and they're like, "Can you know what they always say? Oh, can I start here? This game looks pretty cool. Can I start here?" Like, no, but motherfucker, this is Trails 13. You cannot start here. Go out and play Trails 1. It comes out this year as well. In September. So I feel like when people would say the argument of they would be stepping on their own shoes, I feel like the people who are caught up with Trails, first of all, that's not a lot. I feel like that's not a lot of people who are like they're caught up and they're ready for the next Trails game, right? And if they are caught up with the next Trails game, I would assume that they are, a fan, a pretty good fan to be, have played 13 games and be ready for the next one. I would also assume that this type of person would probably be one that would pick up Trails in the Sky first chapter remake. So people who are interested in Beyond the Horizon are probably going to pick up first chapter remake as well. So I don't think that they're going to be like, man, I could only play. I'm only going to pick up one. So I'm going to choose this one instead of that one. If you guys spread it out, I'm not going to do that. No, I think if they're I don't want to say loyal enough, but if they're invested enough to be caught up with 13 games, I think it's safe to say that they would probably pick up first chapter as well. But the opposite isn't true. The person who wants to get into Trails for the first time, they're obviously not going to pick up Beyond the Horizon, even if it came out 6 months or a year later after first chapter. I think it being close to first chapter doesn't affect the people who, this game isn't for in the first place, So them putting it as close to first chapter remake, it doesn't look like it's as bad of an idea when you think about it that way. So, yeah, Beyond the Horizon is looking like it's going to be very good. NAS, good job, because that would mean we will be caught up by the end of the year, something we thought would never fucking happen.
Never be possible. There are things in this world that I never thought was going to be possible. Things of that nature are like One Piece catching up with the dub. I never thought I would see that day, especially back in the day when One Piece was 4 kids. Never thought I would see that day, and I never thought that I would ever see Trails actually catch up day and date at some point. Well, not day and date. Well, so far with freaking Japan. It's unbelievable. Like, holy shit.
Like, you want to catch that super chat?
Got a super chat from Ace Breaker, $2 super chat saying, "I'm 40 hours into Horizons and so far it's great." For those who don't know, Ace's dad works at Falcom, so we got it early.
Lord, crazy.
Lord.
Hey,
Ace, you couldn't just wait. You couldn't just wait a couple of months. Just wait, bro.
In his defense, he said that he already paid for the Japanese game.
Okay,
and he wants to get his money's worth. So,
all right, fine. I guess.
Bro literally started it the day before they announced it was coming.
No, like 2 days. He did start it 2 days. He caved 2 days before this announcement.
Okay, so wait. Crazy. It's 2 days. You can't just stop. Like, well, what's gonna happen? I'm sure he's got a backlog. He can't just stop. Like, I'm sure 2 days is like 20 hours. Well, I don't know how long for this guy.
Like he said, he already paid the $60 for it, so he just wants to go ahead and just get his $60 worth instead of being like, "Fuck it, let me just wait," and giving them another $60 to. I can, from a financial standpoint, I can understand where he's coming from.
Ace don't need the
and
money, though.
He also said he wasn't able to refund it. He said he already tried that option too. So
why can't you just sell it to somebody? Like, you just sell it to somebody then.
It's a digital.
It's digital. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's a digital.
It physical. Okay.
Unless he can gift it to someone, they can give him money. I don't know if that works like that way. Anyway, point is, what was I going to say about Trails Beyond the? Oh no, the comparisons to One Piece. I just find it funny that the comparisons to One Piece just continue. Last year, it was the fact that One Piece is getting was it Studio Trigger? Not Studio Trigger. Wit.
Oh no, yeah.
Studio Wit is doing a One Piece remake, and then we get a Trails remake, which is funny. Both of these long-running franchises that are still ongoing, getting a remake while their original run is still going. So that's another thing that they have in comparison.
Interesting.
And then now this in regards to One Piece. I think the English dub for One Piece is caught up.
Yep.
Now.
Insane.
Something we thought would never happen.
Insane.
Has happened. That the dub is caught up with the Japanese, and now Trails being caught up with the English is, another thing we didn't think was gonna happen. So I just find it funny that they just continue to have similar milestones happen to each other. Hey,
Okay.
W to the both franchises.
All right.
Keep it going, NAS. You're proving them wrong, because man, when they took over the franchise, people were, people like, man,
Upset.
Xseed, man, we're screwed, bro. We're cooked. NAS is gonna fuck it up like they fucked up Ease 8, and NAS proved their worth, man. NAS proved their worth.
All right. So, Bao, Blake, you guys got any plans to catch up with the Trails?
Yeah, YouTube maybe.
Damn.
Lord.
Oh my God.
He said, Lady Virgilia, get to work.
Jesus.
No, I mean, like, actually
That's
just
just
watching a playthrough. Like, I have no desire to play Trails anymore, honestly. See, I was interested in this game for plot reasons I can't say because of spoilers, and then I found out it's style like Sky Third and Reverie, which so yeah, that interest went out the window.
Damn. All right. I don't know if I want to say fair enough, because like you put in a good amount of time. You think it's you want to step away. You think it's time to just stop. I guess.
Hey, I respect it too. If something's not working for you, regardless of how far you're into it you are, because I remember hearing that from the Bleach fans a long time ago when they were not fucking with Bleach, and I was just like, bro, just stop. And they're like, I'm too deep. I gotta see this through. Like, no, you don't. If you're not having a good time, just stop, bro. Just stop. You could be consuming other things that you love more. Just So hey, I'm not holding it against you.
All right.
Yeah. So, but me though, yeah, I'll be. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna tell you that I'm gonna be caught up, because I'm done making promises. But Trails, I'm with Trails for life. I will be playing Horizon. I don't know if it'll be on launch day, but I will be playing it. And I'm excited because there's characters in this that I'm very. You see him on the front. It's my boy Reen. Very exciting.
Forget Reen. My boy Kevin is here. What you mean?
Yeah, who could forget about Kevin? We all love Kevin. We love Kevin.
Right,
I
Lord?
like Kevin. We all love Kevin. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I plan to be caught up as well, so we'll see what happens. All right, let's move on. Let's go to these Nintendo Switch no Hustle. Nintendo Switch 2. $450.
All right, Sosuke, calm down.
Lord?
All right, so the Nintendo Switch 2 got officially unveiled, and a crap ton of games were revealed for them. So I'm just going to be playing each game trailer and going with that for this whole discussion. What just happened? Okay.
Oh no.
So, Nintendo Switch 2, it seems to be a successor, a proper successor to the original Nintendo Switch. It's going to have 4K output, 120 frames. Thank God.
HDR, baby.
But it was twerking on his stream. If you haven't seen him, man, and everything.
I went crazy. They showed that 120 FPS. I was like,
I only saw one person more hyped on a Switch 2 related thing than Shadow for this 120 frames per second, which is impressive that Switch can get up there. So
Is it
good for them.
120 at 1080p though?
It should
just to
be.
be clear.
Well, it should be 120. It should be 1080p 60. Anything beyond 30, it should be. So it shouldn't be like I'm sure every game is not going to hit 120, obviously, but the frame rate is high.
Games, but
Yeah,
I'm surprised that
will it be 120 frames portable or no?
120.
I'm portable.
Yes,
I think the screen has.
It's got a VRR screen, so it will have 120 FPS in handheld mode, which is going to be crazy because a lot of people haven't experienced 120 FPS because it's just kind of cumbersome to set up currently, and you don't know if your TV supports it and whatnot. So a lot of people are going to get to experience the fluidity of 120 FPS, and they might start acting like Shadow.
Yes, they will. We will finally have them see the light that is a higher frame rate. Oh, I didn't need Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom running at a high frame. It plays just fine. Oh, let me get that upgrade for $10 for upgrades. But oh no, it's so good. How did I ever play? How did I ever play Tears of the Kingdom like this? This is ridiculous. It's like a whole new experience. Oh my God. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for
Now,
those
Shadow.
reactions.
Now, Shadow, you have to take into consideration, for the most part, people only say that when they go backwards, right? When
Yeah,
they
that
go,
is true.
So because I don't know, I remember my first experience with 60 frames. I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty smooth. This is pretty smooth, and it wasn't until I went back and played a 30 frames per second
Yeah,
version
I
of
think
that
that's how
game.
it goes for everybody. That's how it goes for everybody. Like you don't know, like you don't know what you have until you actually see it.
No.
And then
What
you
I'm
go
saying,
back to it, then you're like, wait a minute, how the hell did I ever play it like this before?
yeah,
but
but what I'm saying is that I'm interested in how many people are gonna go back to their original
Oh,
version
they will.
of
They
Breath of the
will.
Wild.
They will. They will. They
Yeah,
definitely will.
we'll see the comments.
They will 100%
just-
will.
Yeah.
We'll get all the
But yeah, that's what I
gameplay
was thinking.
comparisons, and people
I think
will
it
go
was-
back and look.
I think for me, my first experience was Bloodborne. When I played Bloodborne for the first time, yeah, obviously I had a good time and whatnot. It was in 30 frames, but it wasn't until the Dark Souls 3 remastered came out. What's Dark Souls 3 or Dark Souls 2? One of the two. It was the first From Software Souls game that was in 60 frames per second, and then the Bloodborne DLC came out, so I had to go back to Bloodborne to play that, and that's when I noticed 30 frames, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is kind of hurting my eyes."
Yeah.
How like choppy and sluggish this feels. I don't remember having, and then when your eyes get used to it, it's fine. But like when you first started up, I was like, "Ugh, what the fuck? I used to play like this. This is crazy."
Exactly.
And I heard the same thing occurs when you go from 60 to 120.
For me, it's not that big.
for me,
Definitely,
It's not that
Definitely
bad.
less
You
noticeable.
notice it though.
Yeah, it's definitely
Mhm.
noticeable. So
I think- I
Switch
think
also.
I think another thing, when I first played Sekiro for the first time, it was in 30 frames, and I was already
was?
used to 60 frames per second. Yeah, Sekiro when it first came out was in 30 frames, and I remember not liking that for my first couple of hours of playing it until my eyes got used to it as well.
I think it has to do with if you're jumping. For me, at least, I think when you jump between games that are 60 and then games at 30, I can see it. But if it's like I'm just playing a game and I just pick it up for just start playing, I don't really notice it as much because I think most of the games I have on my handhelds are in 30, but I don't really seem to notice it when I'm not like jumping from a game from my PC and then jumping straight to the handheld. So
Okay.
yeah.
Switch 2 also now introduces game chat, a brand new revolutionary feature that
my God.
totally wasn't
No
here
one's
since
ever
2006.
Oh my god. Suck me off. Nintendo said, suck me off. Getting you this new feature. It's revolutionary. And you're going to pay for it too.
You gonna
Like,
pay for
Yeah,
that
exactly.
separate price. I think that camera is going to be what, $50 or something like that, and then you can share.
It's 50.
Yeah, $50 for a camera.
They've got a few other ones as well. They've got a plant camera where you can the plant closes its mouth, the piranha plant, and the lens is covered. So
Lord?
yeah, they're gonna get people to
It
buy
does
that.
look really cool. I can't lie.
It does. It does.
Setting that up in the guest
room. In the guest
Wait,
room.
what?
So the Switch, let's talk about the console itself. How do you guys think of it? What do you guys' thoughts on how it looks, the features? What do you guys got?
I think
I was
think
just mainly surprised how powerful it is. I was not expecting 120 frames. I was on the fence about it being 4K, so that was a surprise too. But I think it's earned its price point, the system itself, with how powerful it is. And it's actually wild. I think it might have been, maybe never. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I don't think Nintendo has ever had a console at the same power level, I guess, as the other competitors, like ever.
Closest they have with GameCube.
I don't think it's on the same power
GameCube
level. though.
GameCube was
stronger
stronger
than
than PS2.
But it wasn't stronger than the Xbox, so that was the closest, in my opinion. I think they were.
And they
wasn't
shouldn't have been the generation, so.
the Sega Genesis was stronger than the SNES, right?
Probably. I think
so.
yeah, the Sonic game.
But I think they were still relatively close as well. N64 and PS1 and Sega Saturn, I don't know about that one. But yeah, it seems like after the GameCube, it definitely seemed like they did not care to make sure if their console from a technological standpoint was around the same area as their competitors.
Because it's for Nintendo, it's more about their their creative sort of like visuals that they use rather than P graphics. Because even with this, with the Switch 2 run at 120 frames and all that kind of stuff, it's still not on the level of like a PS5 or a Series X or something. It's
in a tablet, you're not going to get that.
My guess, the reason for that is because Iwata's gone and it's like new leadership in the company.
So
because Iwata was always focused on fun over power.
I got a few elephants in the room I want to get out here if you guys have time for it. Or are we still going through the Switch stuff? Because
we're still going through the Switch stuff.
Okay. All right.
Let's not.
It's still Switch related. It's still Switch 2 related. But yeah, I'll save it. I'll save it for after if we have time.
Yeah. So also it looks like the UI was revealed as well, and it seems to be exactly the damn same. What are our thoughts there?
I think what broke. Yeah, Nintendo does. They don't care about UI. They just. I think there was some sort of thing when Nintendo was saying along the lines of like their main concern is people can get into the game and get back out of their game quickly, and
their UI has to be snappy.
Yeah, because
I'm pretty sure everybody else, every handheld has a snappy UI at this point. What's the problem with Nintendo can't do that as well?
I think some UIs are a bit. Like I think sometimes on my PS5 or my Xbox Series X, sometimes there's a little bit of a delay.
Is it? So, I don't think so. I can snap between a game, Netflix, anytime, especially Xbox. Please, Xbox's UI is really smooth. And then we're talking about handheld. Handheld Steam Deck does it pretty well. Every time I press the Steam button, I go right back to the main page, no problem. I've seen the ROG Ally. I've seen the Lenovo something, whatever it was called. I don't know. They all do it. So it doesn't seem that this is a handheld issue of power, because I believe the Switch 2 should have the same power, more or less, as these handheld devices. So that excuse is starting to be a little bit spooky to me. If you ask me.
Shadow, are you arguing the fact that they should be able to make an innovative UI that's also snappy?
Yes.
A new innovative UI that's also snappy instead of keeping it the same.
100%.
I think
Shadow, have you ever considered that maybe their design philosophy for their UI is also no? Let me finish. Let me finish. Have you ever considered that maybe their design philosophy for their UI is also in line with their design philosophy for the hardware of the Nintendo Switch 2? The Nintendo Switch 2, from a design standpoint, does not look that much different or damn near identical to the Switch 1. Like, if you held the Switch 1 and Switch 2 beside someone that doesn't know what the hell a Switch is, they're gonna be like, this is the same device. Do you think they were maybe just trying to keep things consistent from both a hardware and software standpoint?
No, I think they're just being fucking crazy as shit.
I agree with Riku on this one.
Hey, man.
I don't think so. No, like everybody, like every time a new console comes out, a new UI should be the standard. But Nintendo just said no, we don't feel like doing that now. Because
regardless, hold up. I feel like when you come up with a new UI, regardless of how good it actually is, I feel like a lot of people say this UI is garbage. Like, to be honest, I don't think the PS5 UI is garbage, but I think when it comes to these UIs, it really all depends on how well does the person using the UI knows where everything is and how quickly it is to get to those things. And I feel like when you get a new UI, you don't know where everything is.
That's why you explore your goddamn device.
And since you don't know where everything is, you think it's not a good UI, right? But like at the end of the generation, everyone's like, "Oh no, this UI is pretty good." Like, no, brother, you were slandering it when you first got started. You were saying the UI was garbage, but now that the new UI is here, now the previous UI you thought was garbage is good, and this new UI is garbage.
No, it's garbage.
So it's like
it's just garbage altogether.
Lord,
how long do you spend on your UI screen, Shadow?
I was about to say that same thing.
Not that long, but when you're on a new console, you expect new things. I don't expect to be looking at the same thing. I had it all the way from the PlayStation, PS2, PS3. UI was garbage. Towards the end there, it started to get good because they started to realize how like fluid it could be. PS4, godly UI.
Did you say the XMB was garbage?
I heard it was garbage. It was pretty slow for me too. But towards the end, it got faster. It got It got more fluid. It got way more fluid as you went down the road.
So when you say I'm trying to figure out what you consider your metrics for a garbage UI. For the PS3's XMB, are you saying it's garbage because it was slow, or it was also garbage because like you couldn't really get to where you wanted to get?
It's like everything
from a design standpoint.
With that one. It was
really
it was a little bit slow.
That's the thing. Okay, I can understand the slow part, but the design part, like I don't remember anyone's, because here's what I remember. When the PS4's UI came out, everyone hated it, and they were like, "Oh my god, XMB was great. Why did you guys change it? You know, we had custom themes, and you know, I knew where everything was. You know, it also
for the PS4 or PS5. Which one are you talking about?
No, the PS3 and the PS3 and the PSP's XMB UI.
Okay,
they loved it, but they only loved it when they got their hands on the PS4, which they hated. And then when the PS5 came out, now everyone loved the PS4 and they hate the PS5s.
No, the PS4 UI is good. It also had customization as well. It was fine.
That's what I'm saying. When it first came out, everyone said it was garbage.
I don't know about that. I don't know if people were saying it was garbage, but okay. Either way, they keep it exactly the same. No, nothing's different. We don't even get themes still. Like what the hell is going on there?
This is the launch of the console, though. They can change it whenever they want.
No, they're not. They didn't change it with Switch.
They won't change it.
They're not going to change it.
It's Nintendo.
It doesn't matter because you're here for the game, not the menu.
Has the Nintendo ever changed the UI though?
No. Yeah, 3DS.
Yeah, 3DS.
Okay. Well, if they have evidence of changing a UI before, then maybe they could do it with this Switch too. So I'm not gonna. I don't see the big fuss.
I think it comes down to Nintendo's priorities. I think at the end of the day, their priority is being able to get in the game, get out of the game.
I think this also falls in line to one of the elephants in the room that I wanted to talk about. But
not to cut Riku off, but we have a super chat from Snow Owl with a $2 super chat saying Nintendo cares about UI, user income.
Oh man,
really?
He might be right. User income, okay. They about to not get that in a minute. They better shake themselves up. But all right, so yeah. What else about the Nintendo Switch? I find it pretty weird how, like, I think we already know the answer to this, but it's kind of crazy how this is from a design standpoint, it's literally a sequel to the original Switch and not the Switch OLED. Like, yeah, I can look at the Switch 2 and see, okay, the OLED's going to make those bezels way smaller. Like, I could see it's going to perfectly round out the edges somewhere. It's like they purposely made this as we got room for improvements, and they already have the OLED design up. Probably they're just waiting for year 2 or year 3 to release it.
Aren't OLED screens like more expensive than LCD screens though?
Yeah, the price would have gone up by a lot more.
Of course they would have. Of course.
Yeah.
So I think
at the end of the day.
I've been looking at it like with the Switch because, of course, I'm assuming this is what Nintendo's going to be doing. I don't know if it's for the rest of their lives, but for a while, it feels like the Switch is definitely more iterative. So think about it like a smartphone. Like Samsung has their S21, then they have their S21 FE, and then they end it with the S21 Ultra. They're probably just going to do that, and they'll move on to the next thing, and then it'll start off with the base model and the next month. Because I feel like that's when you're in the unique position that Nintendo's in, where they can't necessarily separate their handheld and home console teams anymore. I feel like that's really the only way they can progress, because like what else can they do to keep themselves, like, I guess, substantial? I don't know. Hey man, listen, I'm a sucker for new technology. I'll buy it whenever it happens.
Not for DUIs, apparently.
I got nothing else.
Okay.
Hey man, listen. Listen, brother. You can tell Riku, I've been butthurt about the PS5 UI not having themes for a while. So the fact the Switch one is still the fucking same, it does grind my gears a little bit, but at the end of the day, the new features for me don't come from the menu. It comes from the fact I can play fucking 120 FPS games on this thing. That's the new feature for me.
I said 120 FPS. I love hearing that.
I'll put the boner away. Calm down.
All right. So the Switch itself, I guess, is so far Do you guys think it's a day one cop for y'all?
I've been
Not day
thinking
one.
about it. For me, it depends on how many of my friends are getting it. Because the killer app for day one is Mario Kart. If I have no one to play with, there's no point.
Oh, I'll be there. Don't worry about it. I was worried because I'm supposed to be buying a house, and my girlfriend. I wasn't gonna tell her. Just like with the PlayStation 5 when that came out. I'm like, I'm just not gonna mention anything. But we were laying in bed the other day, and she's like, "You're gonna buy the Switch too." I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, "You're gonna buy it." I'm like, I didn't say anything about that. I didn't mention this. She's like, No, you're gonna buy it. I know you're gonna buy it. I'm like, this is a very rude roundabout way of giving me your consent. She's like, I'm not gonna try to just buy it.
She already knows you, man.
Like, okay.
You know that day one's gonna come. You're gonna be like, wait a minute, it's coming out in a few
Telling you,
weeks.
Chet, if she does not support your bad decisions, then she's not for you.
She know you, man. You're gonna do it. Do we think that 450 price point is good enough?
I think it's gonna go up for y'all.
I think it's gonna go up for the
Probably
US.
gonna be up.
Oh, man.
It's gonna probably go up to like maybe 6 or something in the US because if
Geez, 6 in the US would be crazy.
it's probably going to be that high because if you consider the percentages for the tariffs and everything like that, unless maybe there's an exemption, maybe the government says, hey, you know what, we exempt Nintendo Switches for the people. Unless that happens, it's probably going to be pretty high because I can't see importers and stuff paying the cost for that. So it's gonna hit the consumers. And I think Nintendo themselves, haven't they delayed talking about the price yet? Because I think all companies are pretty much trying to figure out what it's going to cost them in the end as well. So I think once they're sure, I think that's when you're going to get like official prices and pre-orders and stuff ready to go. So I could see it hitting 600 possibly.
Okay.
Due to the, yeah.
All right, so let's talk about some of these games. They announced, we already seen in Mario Kart. They also announced Dust Bloods, which I think is a Bloodborne spiritual successor, I believe.
Not necessarily, but it is a From Software Souls-like game.
Okay. You also
Before we get
got
into the games, we do have a super chat.
super chat from oh, go ahead, Blake. You good?
I think Blake said his internet is
Okay.
some things right
Well,
now, so you might have
We have a super chat from Not Furious saying, I'm just praying the Joy-Cons won't be drifting like they're in Tokyo.
Oh man, Tokyo Drift.
Didn't they say that the Joy-Cons this time around should have that those
No.
magnetic
No,
features?
they don't. They did not
Huh?
say that. They said Nintendo said they redesigned them and they've done some work on it, but there is no confirmation that it's using Hall effect sticks. So as far as we're concerned, this is Nintendo coming up with their own way of avoiding putting Hall effects that work in their device.
Why would you think that they are deliberately avoiding it?
Because I don't know, Nintendo likes being Nintendo, like doing their own thing. I don't know that.
Do you
I don't
mean
know. I
like
just feel like
avoiding
the
talking
Nintendo
about
Switch. I feel like the Nintendo Switch 2 has showcased. If the Nintendo Switch 2 has showcased anything from us from a hardware and software standpoint, is that it's doing the same thing as the Switch but better. So I just find it weird that when it came to the sticks, that they wouldn't take the obvious route.
I think it would be an easy dub for them to just say we've got Hall effect sticks in there. I think that would be easy because people already associate Hall effect sticks with like no drift. So
Well, I would say they probably are smart not to do that.
why?
Why? 'Cause it would make it more
If
expensive.
you mention anything towards sticks and the fact that the originals had drift, then you admit your system had an issue, and now you open yourself up to lawsuits. So that's a no-no.
Good point.
People already knew that because the thing with Nintendo,
we know it. They can't say
Yeah,
that
they
from a
can't say
business
it.
standpoint.
Yeah.
they did have because one of the I don't know how it is in the US, but in the UK, with the once you had stick drift, you could send your Switch into Nintendo and they'll just fix it for free. There was no cost to it, and that was like on their website. You Google it, search like, what do I do if my Switch has stick drift, and they would tell you just send it in. So
They probably wouldn't officially classify it as that. They just say, "Hey, we'll fix
Yeah,
your
you will
controller."
find no official mention of stick drift ever from a company.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's suicide.
Yeah.
all right, noted.
All right.
Business 101.
All right. So, what other games that we are interested in here? This Daemon X Machina looked pretty good. I I feel like the
It's
the
Donkey
first
Kong.
one was okay, but it felt like it came and went. But that trailer for the second one looked amazing. Also, Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong was looking pretty good. Everyone's saying that was the best thing that they showed. How do you feel about that statement?
Best thing that they
You
showed.
know, I'm interested in it, and I'm
Yes.
not into platformers like that.
So is
I would
everything
agree. I would agree with the statement.
is everything in that game destructible, or is it just like a certain land plots
It
that
looks
you can
like it.
actually? Well,
Probably
like,
certain land plots.
Yeah, I feel like not the entire game is going to be destructible. That's like saying not Saints Row, Crackdown. Everything was destructible, and it really wasn't. Or
We've
Reminded me
had
of,
games that are
Hulk
like that
Ultimate
before,
Destruction.
like
Red Fraction.
what was it
kind
called?
of.
Yeah, Red Fraction. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I think the thing for me that pretty much made me just sort of like take a double take when they announced it was that Cyberpunk is coming to it, because then that's when it was like, wow, this is gonna be a pretty. I mean, to run that, I'd like to think it's in a similar stratosphere as close enough to the current stuff that we have. So yeah, I think Cyberpunk was probably it for me. Where I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's looking good, because all the Nintendo games, it doesn't matter like power. Nintendo games just look good because it's all about art, really. It's the style.
So has it been confirmed? Well, like I guess maybe Nintendo games like Metroid and Donkey Kong, and I would assume Cyberpunk would also have it as well. That there's going to be like a performance mode and fidelity mode for every game supported on the Switch too.
I don't know if they've confirmed that, but I think in this current generation, I think it makes sense that that's probably what's going to happen. There's going to be a performance and a fidelity mode.
Because I think Metroid was confirmed 1080p 120 or something like that, or 1080p 9 whatever. And that'd be pretty cool if every game had that for the most part. And I'm looking at this Metroid gameplay now. This game looks really good.
It does look good.
I've never played a Metroid game, so I don't think I'm
Really?
Yeah,
Me neither.
I'm not big on Metroid. Never
Oh,
was.
wow.
I wanted to get into Metroid, but I don't know. I was always on the Mega Man stuff.
There we go.
But Prime, it seems like a completely different beast since it's a first-person shooter doing very unique things in that genre. So,
and to confirm, this is the one they had to go back to the drawing board with, right?
Yeah. I think you have to rework it.
They had to rework the
It looks
entire
good,
game.
though.
And wait, yeah, I guess that was for the best.
what is your Metacritic predictions for Metroid
man.
Prime 3?
Oh my god, I'm gonna say this is a darling of the industry, so I'm gonna say probably like a 90.
I was thinking the
Really?
same thing. I was thinking 90 as well. It's Metroid
Yeah.
Prime.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet on that, but I'm
No?
thinking that.
Val? What about you, Val?
89.
That's what I was thinking. Something tells me it's going to be an 89.
You think they're gonna
But-
drop the ball somewhere?
No, I just think people are going to be like, this is a great sequel, but
Too late.
we wish we would have gotten this like a decade ago. This feels like a great game of yesteryear, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it will be like a 92, and your typical, like you said, critical darling. Because Prime is a critical darling. Didn't the remaster come out in the 90s?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that might be a good sign. If this one has the same level of quality as those, then there should be no reason to think that it shouldn't hit a 90 as well.
I think
but
with
the only reason
Nintendo-
I'm saying 89 is because you know how sometimes a game's sequel will come out. It'll be better in every way, shape, or form. Like let's say Horizon Forbidden West, and it still rates lower than its predecessor, and it's like, what the fuck? But maybe it's because, I mean, that doesn't really happen with Nintendo game critical.
Yeah, it doesn't really happen with Nintendo. I think also like you're seeing in the trailer here, or the gameplay, is that I think having this new control system with the mouse thing, I think that's going to be huge for like.
I think that really depends on how well it works.
Yeah,
'Cause that
exactly.
could
I was
make
like,
or break it.
I could feel like that's going to be like unneeded.
It could be a
completely.
It's
gimmick
gonna
that
be
could hurt
needed.
the game. No,
It
I'm
could
not
be
gonna
like
say
just a gimmick or something like that. Like you don't really need it at all.
I think a mouse
were-
in a first-person shooter is a huge thing, and if it runs well, like like you just said, if it runs well, I think it's going to be a game changer for Metroid.
it could, because you hear the same things when it comes to, at least before, the Resident Evil 4 remake came out, people would say the best version of Resident Evil 4 is the Wii version because of the fact that you can use the Wii mode, and it puts the game on a higher pedestal than any other version of the game that you could possibly play. If the same thing can be said about Metroid Prime 3 when using its little mouse feature, then it's a fucking W. Anything less than that, it's going to hurt the game.
If the mouse don't work, then it will hurt the game. But if the mouse works like a proper mouse, it's gonna be a win.
I would say it needs to do a little bit more than that. Like I said, it needs to be like, this is the superior way to play it.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
Just, this is a good. This isn't a good replacement. Hey, I mean, this is just as good as playing it on the with the controls. Because if it's just as good as playing it on the controls, then just play it on the controls.
Exactly.
That would be a thing.
It literally needs to be superior for it to be worth it.
When I talk to my friends who play FPS a lot, like they all say like, look, mouse and keyboard is peak. They'll play with a controller if they're forced to, but it's like it's a hard push. It's kind of like before you were talking about. Yeah, so I think if it works if they've programmed it, so like when you move that mouse sort of Joy-Con around, it moves just like a mouse should move with a game. Quicker, snappier. You could just do a full 180 and all that kind of stuff. I think it will be the preferred way to play the game. I think
we need to hear reviews say, I prefer to play it with the mouse thing because it's literally better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's going to interfere with a lot of people. So it's like, first of all, you're going to be playing this game in handheld mode most of the time probably, and you're not going to have like a solid surface unless you're, I guess the point of the Switch is to be play anywhere. And so you're going to have a handheld and then you're going to put it on the dock. Is it going to be the TV dock? Are you going to have a table ready to do that? I don't know. Most people don't game on monitors, do they? Like they have a dedicated desk or something like that. So
there's going to be a whole business for people making, tables for your living room. Nintendo, plastic peripherals. They're going to be selling you a plastic table to sit in your lap to play your Metroid Prime. It's going to be it.
Okay. Let's see. What other games did we have here?
Pokemon. Pokemon looking good.
Pokemon does look good. But let's talk about Bravely Default. Getting an HD remaster. Finally, this game was locked on the DS or the 3DS. I can't even remember which one it was.
3DS.
3DS. The first one, right? This is the first Bravely Default.
Yeah.
And it was only on a 3DS. Okay, I thought it started on a DS. I don't know why I thought it was DS. But yeah, Bravely Default is kindly coming back. And Bob, this is the third. There are 3 Bravely Default games, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Bravely Default, Bravely Second, and Bravely Default 2.
Default
the
2.
fact they went that direction is stupid, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever. I played the Bravely Default games. I never actually finished one. Like they really didn't keep my attention for too much. I was trying to play Bravely Second. I did get I think it was maybe 18 hours into it before I stopped, and I think that was because I lost the save data to the means I was playing it. So
very subtle, very nice.
yeah. So maybe I could put that back on my maybe view it on my Steam Deck somehow, some way. I don't know about that, but yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting. I don't know if I want to get this one day one. Like I said, I'm not the biggest Bravely Default fan. Bao, this is day one for you?
Honestly, that depends on funds. Like, I love the Bravely Default games in general. They're the successors of Final Fantasy V. But, I don't know. For a day one buy for a system I'm already putting $500 into,
Jesus.
It would depend on extra money.
Is that 500 hours for the series or just the one game?
No, I'm saying $500 on the system.
Oh, I think it's 500 hours. Okay.
No.
All right. So what are we thinking this one is gonna so this one's definitely $40, right? We're kind of getting into the pricing, but let's just keep it here. I was worried that this one was gonna cost a little bit extra because I remember another remaster that came out from Nintendo, even though this isn't Nintendo, it was Square Enix, but I think it was Luigi's Mansion. It came out $40 on the 3DS. Then it was part of some type of greatest hits collection for $20 on the 3DS, and then the remaster or whatever port to the Switch came out at $60. So I was a little bit worried this game was going to be full price at least. Maybe not the $80 that we're gonna get into later, but like it's nice to see that this game is only going to be $40. So that's a.
Is that confirmed? Is that a confirmed price?
I believe that's a confirmed price.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's amazing how 40 is now the new standard for like it is the cheaper version now because like games at 80 now. It's like wow. It's like, do you think it's gonna be the new standard now? Like like if Nintendo gets away with charging?
No, we'll get there in a minute. We'll get there in a minute.
Okay. All right.
We will get there. Is anybody else interested in Bravely Default 2? Or not Bravely Default. Bravely Default coming out. And was he remastered second? Go ahead.
I was always interested in the game because I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy V. So I'm interested in it, but I don't know.
Blake, you're back?
Hi. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Interest in Bravely Default?
So when I first saw this, I was like, this is pretty neat. I've always wanted to play the series. I'll take a look at it when it goes on sale. But with it being, one, it's a launch title. People are always desperate for.
Did you just go out, or was it just me?
I thought it was me.
That man just went out straight up. Holy crap! I like. Oh wait, you stopped talking.
Literally everything else. So
you literally just went out for a little bit. Like we only heard the last part of what you said.
Oh Lord, am I back? Hello.
Yeah, you're back now.
Dear God. Okay, when did I cut out?
Like literally, as you were about to say, like just say everything again.
Motherfucker. Okay, TLDR. I am interested in this because it is in the right price point and new console. So yeah, I will likely pre-order and pick it up because I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy V. And the job system looks very, very good, and I've heard very good things about it. So I will likely pick it up.
It's interesting. Does everybody like I don't know. Does everybody here put like the job system sort of battle system high up on their list of RPG battle systems?
Yeah, I do.
I really liked it in Xenoblade 3. I really like the different options that you could do and the different things you could do. I just find that it makes it fun because it's not like let's talk about 7 Remake, for example. Like everyone's just kind of locked into one role.
Yeah.
You can't necessarily change anyone outside of that role. And I mean, I guess they kind of did that with Fire Emblem Awakening as well to an extent, where it's like pretty much anyone. No, sorry, it was 3 Houses where everyone could be everything, and it kind of felt a little. It didn't feel as good there because it just felt like no one had identity. But I just like the options. It just makes replays more fun.
Do we ever replay games here?
I was about to say that.
Just like who plays who? Yeah, how often are you replaying games? Yeah, I think Blake just went out again.
Yeah. No, I mean every now and then,
Okay.
Jesus.
So with this 3DS game, the Switch Switch 2 also has a USB port at the top of the handheld now. So do we think that's an opportunity to maybe attach a small screen or something like that? And maybe we might see 3DS games coming to the eShop or something like that? What are we thinking?
I didn't think that.
Awesome.
That would be interesting. I didn't consider that, but that would be very interesting.
It would definitely be easier
it would be pretty cool.
I think from a development standpoint, it would be a lot easier because instead of you going in and remaking your entire UI or remaking how the game works for dual screens, Nintendo just comes out with the portable screen that you could attach to your Switch 2, and they could just start putting out of course like drip feeding us 3DS and DS games, and they can charge developers.
They could definitely do that. Indeed, they could definitely do that. But do you think if they did that, they would probably include that with that Switch Online thing? So it would
absolutely, 100%. Yeah, they would.
Yeah. So like the GameCube thing. Oh, we'll sell you a GameCube controller that works with Switch Online. Yay! Play GameCube games on that.
Dude, it's gonna be funny as fuck when you're like, oh damn, I left my second screen in my other pants.
I can't play my 3DS library on my Switch 2 anymore. I left it at home. Yeah, speaking of the GameCube library, how excited are we for that lineup? I see we got Pokemon Coliseum 1 and 2, Path of Radiance.
1 and 2, excuse the fuck out of you. It's Gale of Darkness and Coliseum.
I'm sorry, sir. You know what? You are 100% right. I wasn't familiar with that game.
Yeah, hold
let
that
me
out.
let me make sure I correct it. It's
Coliseum 1
XD.
and 2.
I'm sorry, Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Okay.
You know what? I am in between minds with that, because to me, like, one, I've been saying for ages when I really want bring Wind Waker back, and
Yeah, dude, you got Wind Waker.
but I don't like the idea of having this luck behind the subscription.
But you don't want to play Wind Waker.
I don't want the subscription lock behind it. If I could just get it and it's just on my platform and I can play it when I have the time, great. But if it's behind a subscription, the amount of subscription I've had where I've not had the time to actually use the subscription in the first place, and
This is why you add a friend and use their family plan. Like can I do?
There you go.
You know what? Anyone want to add me to their family plan?
That's right. I can't be seen with you. Nothing personal.
Do we think that Nintendo's going to give us GameCube games at a good rate, or are they going to just drip feed us?
Drip
One
feed
every
Nintendo.
two every couple months.
I think so. Right now, it feels like once a month we get something for NSO. Like they might drop a 64 game or a Game Boy game, so I think it'll probably just be in that rotation. The thing is, though, at the GameCube library, I don't know if you guys caught this with all the other Switch NSO tiers. It's like Nintendo 64 online, Game Boy Advance online, all that. But for GameCube, they specifically say GameCube Nintendo Classics. So Soul Calibur may be the only third-party game we get for the service.
Oh, wow.
It might only be first-party Nintendo stuff, which is fine because first-party dominated GameCube. But yeah, Soul Calibur may be the exception.
Do you think we will see Smash Melee?
Yeah, at some point. Definitely. But I think Smash 64 has to happen first. They still haven't given that to us.
Oh, they haven't. Okay, never mind that then. Okay.
Do you think
do
we'll
it
get
the
a new
same day.
Smash?
Huh? Yeah, of course.
That's what everyone thought was going to be shown at the end, but instead,
It was just
We got Peak.
we got Kirby, baby.
Uh,
We didn't talk about Kirby when we talked about the games, Shadow.
Actually, we can talk about Kirby. Wasn't there?
Blake, you have the floor.
Kirby.
Jesus Christ! Sounds like me with 120 FPS. Go ahead.
He was pretty damn hyped
Bro,
for that. Kirby
they
era.
will have to. They will literally have to evict me, take my wife, murder my family. They will have to do heinous things to get me to leave my house once this game comes out, brother. They'll have to take me in house. I am never leaving my house ever again once I have Air Riders. It's a wrap.
So wait a minute. Is this a new game or is it a re-release?
Sequel.
Yeah,
It's a sequel. Okay.
Sequel to Kirby Air Ride on GameCube, one of my favorite games of all time. One of the best Sakurai games of all time. So I would say it's even better than Kid Icarus Uprising, but don't let me tell you that.
Jesus Christ. So
some would say it doesn't give you arthritis either.
I think that's a game that needs a remake. Is Kid Icarus Uprising. I think that game was too good to be stuck on the 3DS.
So what's so good about Air Ride? Like, what is it? Like a racing game? I don't know.
It's a cult classic for a lot of people.
It's a racing game by Masahiro Sakurai, the man behind Smash Bros. Bro is the creator of Kirby. He's the father of Kirby, but this is the first time he's worked on a Kirby game since I think Air Ride was his last one, maybe, or maybe it was I can't remember the last time he made a Kirby game, but it's been a hell of a long time. The main gimmick of this game is that it's a racing game. It's kind of like, I don't want to say auto race, so it's not the correct term, but all your vehicles kind of like move. You don't have to hold any triggers. Like there's no gas. They just go on their own. It's all about the curbs and like the, I guess like the turning is really where you get like your speed from, your boosts. And you have all your different slew of Kirby copy abilities. Like you got like the sword, the fire, the blizzard, the zap, like all that stuff. But the main game mode that everyone loves that I grew up playing a whole lot was the city trial. Essentially, it's you and like 3 other people. You're all in like big cities, like a battle royale. But the objective is to collect as many power-ups as you can. And at the end of like a timer, you'll put you in like a competition to see who can KO the most enemies. It might be a race. Like they'll give you subtle hints throughout the time that'll tell you kind of what to expect, and then you just compete at the end to see who will win. But in City Trial itself, different I guess, what do you call them? Events, I guess, can happen. So meteors might fall from the sky and do damage to you. You might encounter a boss, and if you beat the boss, you get extra power-ups and stuff. And there's just a lot of cool stuff going on, and it's one of Sakurai's most unique entries. It was so loved that they even ported a version of City Trial into Smash 3DS called Smash Run. It's effectively the exact same thing. It's just it's Smash Bros. Essentially. So it's sick as hell, and don't let Ace ever tell you anything different.
Lord.
Okay. I don't know, just never been into kart racing and Kirby. I miss my window to be into Kirby games.
See, and the thing is too is that like it's a racing game, but it's not, racing isn't necessarily why people come to it. It's more unique because Sakurai definitely didn't want to make just a bland racer, like, because Double Dash was already out. He didn't want to have to compete with Double Dash. He just wanted something that would stand on its own. And in a lot of ways, Air Ride absolutely stays on its own because I mean, even that, it's proof that they're releasing it so close to Mario Kart because they're not afraid of it competing, because it's very different of a racing game where racing isn't necessarily the focus. It's more hard to say, but it's.
I'd even go so far as to
its own
say is
thing.
that racing isn't even the biggest draw of Kirby, right? The City Trials, people just like the experience of going around collecting crap first before the race even begins.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's very fun, and it's also you can interact with people in the city as well. So if you think you're gonna have like a hard time beating someone in a race, you can just find them in the city when their back's turned and beat the shit out of them, and they'll lose all their power ups. So there's a lot of risk reward to it.
Okay. Any other Switch games we want to discuss?
Well, let's talk about that whole tech demo that they're charging for. Like,
Lord?
we cool with that? We cool with Nintendo and they're charging for tech demos?
I think that goes into the price.
The
To the price of Rocco.
The funny part is about that game too. It's like, I think it's like $5, $4. Like, brother, why didn't you just put it in the damn game? Than the console, bro.
Everyone's
Didn't you just include it?
Astro's Playroom now because of the fact that they did this.
I feel like that's just so. It's greed. I don't know anything anywhere other
It's
way to
greed.
put it.
Because that little tech demo was supposed to teach you how to use your new Nintendo Switch 2, right?
Yeah, I don't know how.
So the fact that they're like, oh yeah, hey buddy, you want to learn all the cool things that you can do with your Nintendo Switch 2 that you just bought for $450? Like, yeah, give us an extra $5. Like, huh?
See, at first I was like, oh, this is cool. It's like a playable manual. And then they're like, it will launch as a paid service. I'm like, whoa.
Can you imagine buying your game and then you're like, hey buddy, you want the manual to this game? It's like, yeah, sure. Here, give us an extra $5. It's like, huh?
They
Wasn't this included?
they are out of their damn minds for doing that.
Like I said, I'm at the mercy because I am a Nintendo fanboy through and through, born and raised. So I just really hope that enough of the people can raise enough of a stink that they'll change. But I don't know.
So
You want them to pull a fucking 3DS price cut?
3DS or like a PS3. But the thing is, I feel like even if like the Switch 2 doesn't do numbers in the beginning, like when as Nintendo wants, they still have the Switch to fall back on. Like 200.
Yeah.
How much? What's the Switch at? Like 185 million units sold or something. It's catch up to the PS2. I can't remember what the numbers are right now, but like they are not afraid. Like they're like, okay, people want the Switch 2, they'll buy it, and if they don't, they'll buy a Switch. So
I think also as well is that you with the Switch you have a large install base and there's a thing when it comes to people having there's a large install base on a particular platform. People are more likely to stay. It's the reason why someone who owns a PS4 is more likely to buy a PS5. So the fact that most Switch games are going to run on this thing effortlessly, I think that's going to be, even if they don't sell like you say day one, when someone inevitably gets to that point where they want to upgrade, they'll buy the Switch too. Yeah.
So
We have Lady Pelvic in the chat room, by the way. Well, not the chat room, but the chat log. Hello there, Lady Pelvic. I don't know why you're not here, but
yeah, she just yeah. Whatever.
Lurking.
Yeah, lurking. Anyway, so getting into the price stuff. The Switch is $450. There's gonna be a bundle, I believe, that comes with what, Mario Kart?
Mario Kart, and I think if you math it, it saves you like $20 to $40. I can't remember the exact amount.
Right. So, how much you want to bet that the standalone Switch will be the most difficult one to find?
I don't think so, because parents who are buying this, they're absolutely going to want Mario Kart. That's just the game that they're going to want to buy. Like normies and casuals, like I feel like it's really just I would say it's hardcore gamers that don't want Mario Kart. If you're buying a Nintendo console and you don't play Mario Kart, you're in the minority by a lot.
I just feel like they'll purposely make less standalone Switches and they'll make more bundles so they can technically be selling the Switch at like $500. Yeah,
that does sound like a Nintendo thing. No, I was wondering where you were going with it, but once you explain it that way, yeah, that does sound like something to do.
I can see that.
Yeah, like I feel like I was having that as a random shower thought, and I'm like, they wouldn't do that. That seems impossible. Like
shower thoughts with shadows.
Yeah, they're not that greedy, but I could see them literally making the standalone one sparse and then making the bundle one. Oh, you could buy the bundle for $500. Well, I don't want Mario Kart. Well, it's the only one you got. You see it, take it or leave it. Fine, I'll pay the $530 plus tax, whatever it is. So yeah, it seems that game prices are out here possibly going up. So it was revealed during the Switch well, actually no, they went above and beyond to not reveal any pricing information during the actual direct.
They made sure they're like, "Oh, you guys are all so excited. You're having such a good time." Yeah. Give me your wallet.
Yes. So you had to go searching, the good people over on X, Wario, Stealth, they all had to come out reporting this stuff. That Mario Kart, the newest one, is going to be $80. Mario Kart at $80. It started a talk, a discussion. Not a discourse. Everybody's been civil about this. There hasn't been any crash outs at all.
It sounds more like a riot. It sounds like a riot to me.
It does it? Okay, you know what? You might be right.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
I'm there too. I just got my Switch in my back pocket.
So it seems that if Mario Kart could get away with being $80, is there any other game that couldn't get away with being $80?
FIFA, Madden, WWE, Call of Duty, everybody's going on.
They're doing that day one. There's 0% chance that EA doesn't say, "Oh, wait a minute, we could charge $80 for this game now that we release every year with slight improvements." Of course, $80 it is. That's the price.
So it seems that it was $80 digital and $90 physical, and not to mention that physical is not really. You don't really have the physical game technically. You have a code, a redeem code, like how you go on the PlayStation or the Xbox or Steam and you go activate a product. It's the same thing.
Let me explain a little bit.
Third party games mainly right now.
So
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so the way that works, so on the Switch right now, they have what's called a code inbox, where it's got like a little like blue tag on the top, and it says there is no game cartridge in here. It's just a code, which I think has been stupid since day one. Companies like Ubisoft do this all the time because I guess Ubisoft is a sinking ship right now. But with Nintendo, as far as they said that this new game key feature they themselves will not be using, because if you look at Mario Kart's going to be all on the cartridge. Donkey Kong is going to be all on the cartridge. All the Nintendo first party stuff we've seen will be, but it's stuff like Bravely Default for some reason, I guess because they wanted to make it. I don't know why they did it. Bravely Default's going to be a game key where you put in the cartridge and nothing is on the cartridge. It just downloads the digital copy for you. Same for Street Fighter 6. I can see a lot of indie developers as well being attracted to this because indie developers always release their physical stuff months, maybe even years after their initial release because they're a smaller studio. If they can just put their digital game on a cartridge, and this cartridge too, it's not like Xbox One back in the day. Remember when they were like, "Oh, if you can't trade your Xbox One games, the game's registered to your account forever or whatever, and you can't get rid," or however that went. It's not like that. For this, it's going to be the digital, like you put that cartridge into someone else's Switch, and they can just download the game. And then you just have to insert the cartridge to access it. So you'll still be able to trade in like your digital games essentially, and still be able to share them around, which is good. I'm looking at this from like the perspective of someone who works in video game retail and sees people, specifically families, skipping out on digital games all the time because they have to pass the cartridge around to kids. And there's a way you can do that on Switch 2 now, I think, but I don't think the average family member is going to be able to figure that out. So I think this is just way more attractive to them. But I can understand why everyone, specifically like in the physical gaming community, would be upset. It's I think for that it's unfortunate, but I do think that going like digital versus physical is an uphill battle, and it's not one we're going to be able to win.
Yeah, I do like the whole sharing thing though. I think that's a very creative way to
forward thinking. Yeah,
because it's like in a sense you can lend games again, but there's a time limit, which again I think is kind of cool, because back in the day you'd lend someone a game and they'll never return it. So
wow, what kind of friends did you have? Like Jesus.
Hey man, I've still got I don't know if she knows, but I still have Fable 1, 2, and 3 because I borrowed it from a friend, and I don't have an Xbox anymore, so I still have those games.
Wow.
That's fine. I'll give it back eventually. It's fine.
Like my neighbor has my copy of I think is it Triangle Strategies. I don't even know if he's ever played it. I just loaned it to him because I was like, mate, you gotta try this game, and I don't know if he ever played it. So it's
Is your neighbor Acebreaker?
No.
So question here. Is $80 a price point that we are? Well, let me say this: is Mario Kart worth $80? The new Mario Kart is that worth $80?
Absolutely not.
No. I think we are all gonna have to start considering that Shadow was right. You know, and when I say that, I mean in his approach to
no, all right, QQ, you stop right there. You stop right there. I was like, wait a minute. He's
okay. Okay, yeah, I see. You're talking about me getting like a ship and going out to the sea. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the Shadow edition of games.
Okay.
Yeah.
The seas are looking clear, looking nice and clear for sailing.
This price hike has been a thing. I've got a few friends locally. And we've been talking about these prices, and we're like, guys, we're gonna this is gonna be crazy. And I was literally like talking to my buddy Hayden. I'm like, brother, I'm gonna have to meet you on the playground and borrow your copy of Donkey Kong when you're done, because I ain't paying 129 Canadian or however whatever stupid price it's gonna be. I ain't paying that for this game, brother. When you're done with it, I'll borrow it from you and I'll play. We're literally gonna have to physically start trading games again, because if they're this much, nah, dude, someone's gonna have to buy it and they're gonna have to pass it to the homies, because these games are
whoring out games.
I think right now, I think they're going to be either $110 Canadian or 120.
Damn.
So
wow.
We'll see. I think in Australia, I think they're 150, but everything is crazy expensive in Australia. So I'm unfortunate.
So I think it was unanimous. I think even the chat agreed that Mario Kart is not worth $80. Is there any realm that any game should warrant this price increase? If it was to pass, if
it's packed with so much DLC and all this sort of content and all this, maybe you could say it's worth it. But I think considering the current economy, the cost of living and everything like that, I think this is just a bit tone deaf to charge such a price, considering that people are struggling as it is with the cost of living. I think $80 for a new game, or $120 in the case of Canadians, for example, I think it's a bit too much. I think Nintendo could, and it may even go higher. Who knows? Maybe what if it is higher? Because you have tariffs and stuff involved.
They're delaying their pre-orders now because they're like, we gotta think about what it's gonna cost to bring them into the country.
Yeah. So I think you're probably going to see more digital purchases if the price on the digital is significantly less, and it should be, because you don't have to worry about tariffs and that. But
no one has brought up the main issue here. This just opens the floodgates to not just GTA or anybody, to Sony, to Microsoft, to
everyone
EA.
So yeah, a lot of people in the
Nintendo
chat
got away with it, and people are buying it. So, well.
So I think some
That's
people
what
in the
they do.
chat are saying that like GTA 6 might be the only game that's worth actually charging us $80 or $90 for. Maybe, I'm not sure if that's what they meant. But Bao is right. It does open the floodgates for any game to just start charging $80, $90 because we saw it with the $70 pricing increase. I think it was a NBA 2K game, $70 for no reason, and everybody started charging their game $70.
It's a shame, but you guys may not remember. Like, this used to be actually be the norm in the gaming industry back in the day. Because I think it was PlayStation when they came around. That's when things started being $50 like across the board. But you could be charged like 90, 70, 60 back in the day for a game. Like, it was just up to them to decide.
Wow.
Yeah,
seems
this
like we may be going back to
cheaper
those
to
days.
produce, as far as I
Yeah,
remember.
there was no
cartridges.
MSRP. Yeah.
So
Here's a question: do you guys think there's a price point where you're like, yeah, maybe I'm gonna have to pick up a new hobby?
I already have. I'm reading books, baby.
See, that's
We're not gonna talk about how much you spent on
you
books.
see, that's an interesting question.
We are not.
I don't know if there's a price point for me where I'm just gonna say no, I don't want a game anymore. But I'm starting to look at it at like some of the games I play, they are not that intensive graphically because I think price dictates kind of like graphically how graphical intense you are. It kind of dictates your price to a extent. Not that is the end all be all, but I'll say JRPGs are some of the most budgeted games.
Asset reused. Yeah.
They don't exactly look amazing. I mean, they look good for what they are. Don't get me wrong. And of course, there will be exceptions, but there's a reason why most of the time these JRPGs would come out maybe $10 reduced, maybe at $50 and not the full 60 or the full 70 nowadays. If you know, I'm seeing it right now with Atelier Yumiya, and listen, I got a review code or a code just to make a game, just to make a video, and I see that price of $70 for that game, and I'm just like, I don't know that Atelier game at 70. I don't even agree with that. It's too high for this particular genre. And then to see maybe a Rune Factory game be 70, to see a Disgaea game at possibly, if this was to come into fruition and every game was to be standard 80, to see a Disgaea game at $80 would be, unless they changed up something graphically different. I do not see that's a good idea.
So let's say these tariffs sort of hit, like they stick, like it's a thing, right? And prices increase, not now, but let's say over the course of the next year or two, they go up to, let's say, $199 per game. Would you then say, you know what, maybe I need to do maybe I'm going to look at something else, or would you be like, maybe one game a year and I'm good?
It depends on the game, honestly. I can see a lot of people giving up their hobbies, but for me, it depends on the game. There's no way I would skip out on. There's no multiverse where I skip out on Persona 6. So like
at 120. Sorry, two at 199, 199
there's
US
no
dollars.
multiverse that I would skip on Persona 6.
Hey man, listen, that boy Shadow when Persona 6 comes out, he's gonna buy Persona 6 copies, and he's gonna have it on literally everything.
Like like I know that's bad, but like everybody's got a price when it comes to that game of theirs. But if we're talking about average games, like I don't know what's the next major JRPG coming out. It's not JRPG. What you call it? Expedition 33. That's $50. But if that game was 80, I'd be like, all right, I might have to wait for some reviews and see what's up.
And the thing is too, for me, I usually, so if there's a Nintendo game I want, I will not feel bad about buying it at full price day one, because I know Nintendo very rarely ever puts their stuff on sale. But if I wasn't game sharing Assassin's Creed Shadows off of someone, I was going to wait until probably the summer, because it's a Ubisoft game. They'll go 50% off in a couple of weeks. You kind of got to know what your price point is for certain things. Nintendo, unfortunately, you can wait like 2 years. It's going to stay the same price unless you can find a used copy off someone in a back alley. But it's usually with Nintendo, if I want it, I'll just buy it and I'll play it and I'll eat it. I'll eat the bullet. But if it's something like a third-party game that I'm a little hesitant on, I'm like, okay, I'll wait a little bit. Like Tekken, I was super interested in picking up Tekken, but I was like, I'm way too casual of a Tekken fan to pick up Tekken 8 at what was it, $70 US dollars or whatever. So like, I'll just wait until it goes to like 60% off, and it's gone down to 50%. But that's how stubborn I am. I'm waiting for that 50% or 60%. I'm waiting, so I'm holding out.
Well,
So
it's like Trails in the Sky for first chapter remake will still be 60 coming out on everything. So
that's
at
what it
least that's
should
good.
be. Yeah, if that was 70, I have a problem with that a little bit. Maybe I would have a problem with. Yeah, $70 for a remake.
Hey, listen.
Yeah,
If it costs
I mean,
too much,
so you had an issue with Resident Evil 4 remake at 70 or Demon Souls remake at 70?
if it was 70 or something like that, or
No,
'cause
they were 70.
Resident Evil 4 was 70.
I didn't even know.
Was it?
I know
Are we
Demon-
sure?
I know
Order too
Demon-
quick. He did not remember.
I know the Demon Souls remake was at 70. I know that for sure because I paid it. But I
Okay.
can't remember about the 4 remake because I obviously didn't buy that one, and I wasn't there day one for it. But I know the Demon Souls remake was 70. So, do you think that one was fine to be 70, or do you
Demon
think
Souls,
if it's a
to be
remake-
70. That's a different opinion on that one. I don't feel that one's a full blown remake, but that's I'm so like in the
Interesting.
minority for that. So I don't want to get into
doesn't
that.
think that Demon Souls remake is a remake? Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that's somewhere between remaster and remake. I don't know what that is. I don't fully consider that one a remake. It is. I'm not going to argue it, but I feel like there's something off about that to call it a full.
At the rate that I'd be playing these Trails games, I'm definitely just lining up the release dates with my birthday and Christmas because I know Daddy Riku would be in all the happy to make me very happy on Christmas morning with a new Trails game.
So what about you, Bao? If I don't know, what if the next Super Robot Wars game was $80-$90? You still get?
Hey, that's a good segue.
No, not a good segue yet, but I'm just asking if Bio has a limit in which you would just say.
That depends on the SRW game.
Oh, okay. All right. But if it was an SRW game and you wanted it, you're gonna pay for it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've technically played more than that already.
Okay.
Used to import the games.
I mean, like, I think like
highest I paid for an SRW game is probably $150 back in the day.
Oh wow.
well, importing, right? So
Yeah, importing.
Sheesh.
I think for everyone they have specific series that's like no matter what happens, if this series drops a game, I'm gonna be there. Like I think for Shadow and me, it's like Resident Evil. Whenever Resident Evil 9 comes out, we're gonna be there. And it's like certain series, you really
Xenoblade.
Persona, yeah. For me, Sonic game, bro. Oh my gosh, they're gonna fucking launch the next Sonic game at this fucking price. God help me.
What if they launch the next Sonic game? What if the next mainline Sonic game is Sonic Adventure 3, and that shit is $90? What you doing, Blake?
Hey, listen, if they got a Chow Garden in there, I'll buy 3 copies.
if it is the Sonic Adventure 3 that I always wanted, yeah, I will buy it.
So,
but I mean. Shit, man. Once like we said, there's not even a lot of games this generation that I wouldn't even say not even a lot of games. There is little to no game that has warranted the $70 price point.
Yep, I would say that.
I mean, ginormous.
Maybe you have been right about
fan.
Resident Evil 4.
And
it may have been 70. Go ahead.
I actually think it may have been 60, but
it was.
The point is,
there was one game I said to myself, "This is worth the full 70." I can't remember what game I played. And that's sad.
Yeah, you might have to figure that one out. I know some people say that Elden Ring was worth 70. Sure, I'll give you that. But like, even like I said, I was a big Ratchet and Clank guy, and I wouldn't say that was worth the 70. It was because that game, even though that game was, I had a blast with it. Like content wise, that game was very short. Like it was over in a second. So it's like there's not a lot of there's little to no games that even warranted 70. So the fact that we're going to 80, I would be surprised if this generation for the Xbox, for the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, that they jump to 80 midway in their generation. I would assume that they would wait till next generation to make that jump, but I'll be surprised if they do it. Be like, oh, we're doing 80 now. Well, I guess we're doing 80 now. It's like, I don't know. I feel like they might.
And a lot of people as well will judge the quality and the price of a game by how long it is, and I don't necessarily agree with that. Yeah. I would rather play a super polished, super fun 8-hour game than like a long drawn out. Like I go back to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth all the time because I loved Rebirth, but like I got really fed up with the mini games and the gimmicks towards the end of the game. It felt like it was starting to drag.
I understand that, and me saying that in regards to Rift Apart, yeah, I had a blast, and I felt it was a bit too short. But I feel like there is definitely a threshold on both sides in regards to how long a person thinks this specific game should be, because obviously that's going to vary on the game, its genre, and the person playing the game. So one person might say, "Oh, I thought Rift Apart felt perfect for how long it was," and the other person might feel otherwise. The same thing with Rebirths. I'm sure the person out there, I think Recon, my friend Recon, Rebirth is his favorite game of all time, and I don't think he has issue with like literally any thing in regards to like the content or thinking that it was bloated. For him, the more the merrier. So like I said, it depends. It definitely depends on the person, and it's a very nuanced thing to talk about when it comes to how long a game should be in comparison to what the price of it should be. It's a very nuanced topic.
I'd say some people in the chat are saying Metaphor was 70. I kind of felt that. I don't know if I thought at the end of the day I was worth the 70. I do think
too,
like
Atlas, bro. Atlas is absolutely gonna jump on this higher price hike
absolutely.
too. Do we know how much Raido's gonna be? Did they commit to a price on Raido yet? There ain't no way they launch Raido at fucking $70. That game's like a $60 game at best.
That's a $60 game at best. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no way. Rebirth being 70, I felt it, and yeah, I would say maybe it was probably worth the 70. Final Fantasy 16, hell no, was not worth the 70. Get that game the hell out of my face. Yeah, so it's kind of like, okay, if games go up $80, $90, like should we see a reduction in day one DLC, season pass? Are we gonna get more content in our games?
I think we should, but we won't.
That's my problem. That's my issue. Like, why? Like, you want to charge us more for nothing?
The thing is that because we're willing to pay for it. Like, if I could charge you a price for if I said, hey, give me 50 quid and you didn't have, I'm not giving you anything for it, and you're still willing to do it, then yeah, give me 50 quid then. And I think that's essentially it for the industry, is that they can charge a price and they know that we the gamers are more likely than not going to pay the price. So why would they not do it?
I think we are heading towards like, we've been seeing it more and more with recent generations of like indie games getting more and more popular, dude. But indie games on the Switch 2 launch day, I already saw like, what was it, Dark DD2 being snarky, like, oh, Dark DD2 launches on Nintendo Switch 2 day one for like $20 or something like that. Like, their indie games are going, unless they just get I guess, I don't know, designated shovelware. I feel like indie games are really going to boom when they are the affordable games that people can pick up off shelves.
True. I mean, to be honest, we could see a crash in the industry as well. We could probably see a point where people are not buying as many games as they were, and you could see some developers just go away that would have probably gotten away with selling their games a lot cheaper, and now their games are premium, super premium, and they just don't sell well. So you're gonna find probably hearing like, oh, some studio has released a game and it didn't sell as they anticipated, and they're gonna have to close down. Blah 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 blah. That's probably gonna happen at this price point, because they're gonna be budgeting with this in mind. Like, we are gonna get 80, so let's inflate whatever costs or whatever.
It's like Square Enix canceling all those projects. They wouldn't have to cancel the projects if they just sold them cheaper. But
yeah.
So let me ask Riku. Do you think any Trails game should be $80 or $90?
Of course, Riku is gonna say yes.
I think he's gonna say no.
And you think he's gonna say no?
Considering that, I'm just gonna say this before you answer. Considering that I just played through Daybreak 1, and the amount of how do you want to say it's dynamic cinematic cutscenes were only very few and far between, and we only got one in like chapter 5 with like that Jaeger. I'll just say that, and that was it, and we didn't get anything else nearly close to that for the entire game. I'm not saying cutscenes and how dynamic they are influence how much a game should be. I'm just saying, if I got more of that, that would have been great to have. But considering that is, I guess, a budget issue, I don't know if $80, $90 is the wave on that. But go ahead.
Like I said, I have two answers to this. obviously answer one for me is I will personally pay for it, just like everyone else here said in regards to their favorite franchise. They will bite the bullet in regards to that. But the generalized answer, Bao is correct. I don't think that they should be priced at 80 or even 70, which is why I'm probably happy that First Chapter Remake, which probably will have the most or around the best animated animations in both like gameplay and cutscenes that we will probably see from the franchise thus far, and it'll be priced at 60. I'm happy that they're doing that because I'm not sure if they feel like their games are worth over 60, because none of them have been priced. The only ones that have been even been priced over 60 were the fucking the bundle packs, like the Cold Steel 3 and 4 bundle, which literally comes with 3 and 4 for PS5 with all of the DLC from both of those games. So sure, that's worth 70, but like an individual game, these are episodic JRPGs that are releasing on a yearly basis. Like you said, they don't really have many things within the games individually that one would say is warranted of that price point. And obviously that's Trails' pro and con. Is like the con is like when you analyze the games individually, sure, they most may say they don't compare to your typical JRPG standalone game that has been worked on for 5+ years and has all of this stuff that you can really bite into. But as a overall franchise, them all together is where their strength lies. So them individually being 70 is definitely something that I will be absolutely surprised if they ever decided to just like bump it up. Because if they do bump it up, then I think we all are going to have to ask, is there going to be more per installment that warrants this? And I don't think that they're willing to bump up what they are putting in. Like I said, we'll have to see what they are doing for this remake, because something tells me that they will try. They already said that they will be adding more to First Chapter than what was already in First Chapter, so we can expect that. But from a modern turn-based JRPG standpoint, we'll have to see where that lies, or if it's still around what we expect a modern Trails game content wise to have.
So if Trails Beyond the Horizon comes out, it's $89. You're gonna get it, but do you think that game is going to should be priced at $89?
I don't think it should. But the way people are talking about, this is a top tier Trails game. So if you ask, let's say if you asked one of the people who said that this is their favorite Trails game, they might say, oh yeah, this was worth the 70 or whatever the case may be. But that's that specific game, because that one was a strong installment. But let's say that the Trails game that comes out after Beyond the Horizon, Trails Amid the Ashes or whatever, new arc or whatever.
Amid the Ashes.
Who the fuck knows? What the hell they're gonna call it? The point is, let's say this next one comes out and it's one of the weaker entries. Is it worth 70 now? You already made your previous 170. Are you making your strong 170 and your weak one's not 70? Like, see, this is where it gets slippery.
Yeah, we don't know if it's like strong or weak until the game even comes out. They're just pricing it at that price point. It's just like, do you expect these games to ever raise in price? Even if you don't know the contents of they're just raising their prices because industry standard is now $8, for example.
I think they're just going to copy the standard for most things.
I think when it comes to Falcom, they are going to be behind the times, like how they are when it comes to a lot of things. I think that eventually their games will be 70. I think their games will eventually be 70, but they will probably be one of the last peoples to do it, because they seem to be the last peoples to get to doing things all the time. Everyone always says their games look like HD remakes
PS2
of
games?
PlayStation 2 JRPGs.
I
You
don't know
know,
about
so it's
that,
like
but okay.
these guys are behind the times when it comes to like a lot of things. So I just think that they're probably going to keep that same energy, which is why they probably are still at 60. It's like, okay,
So-
we're still on 60, which everyone's pushing. Everyone's jumping to 80. We're not even on 70 yet. I think they're just behind the time. So I think okay, how about this? When everyone's doing 80 and 80 is the norm, that's when I think they'll probably do 70.
Okay.
That's my answer.
So, all right. So, do we think that Nintendo is the catalyst for the $80 bump increase in
Yeah.
gaming, or is it going to be GTA 6? Because
Nintendo.
you know
I think
GTA
it's gonna
6
be
is
Nintendo.
not going to come out at 60. You know it's not going to come out at 70. GTA 6 is probably going to come out at 80 or
Then-
90, and that game's going to sell like game
obviously-
buzzers. Is everybody going to say, well, GTA, we were speculating that GTA might be the one to open the floodgates. Is that what's going to happen, or we think it's Nintendo that's going to start it?
Nintendo's going to pioneer
started
it.
No, they just
Yeah,
started
Nintendo-
now. So I think. Go on.
Nintendo obviously is going to pioneer it, but no, I think GTA is going to be the ones to normalize it. And every game that comes out after that, they're not going to say, "Well, GTA did it." They're going to say, arguably
Nintendo
verbatim, GTA and Nintendo did it. They both did it. They're going to use both of them as not one or the other. They're going to use both of them as examples of why they feel their game should be priced at the same tier as these games that have done it back in 2025. So it's going to be both of them. So to answer your question, both.
Okay. Fair enough. GTA is gonna like take the whole world by storm, so definitely. Someone said GTA 6 Digital Deluxe Edition 150 at least. God damn.
Brother.
God damn.
Probably 200.
Uh,
I do find it funny that the $90 thing, because remember when the announcement first came out, everyone was saying that it was going to be digital 80, physical 90, but that seems to be what was that, a mistranslation on someone's part
No,
in
that's
regards
for places in Europe, not us.
Yeah. So people misinterpreted that
okay.
and thought that people misinterpreted and thought the physical for Nintendo Switch games were going to be $90 and the digital was going to be 80, which that'd be wild if that was the case, but it's not the case. So anyone out there that still thought that to be the case, just know that was misinformation. It is 80, not 90.
Oof.
okay.
Nintendo.
We'll get to 90 in the next generation though. And the
So-
PlayStation 7 is going to be 90, baby.
PlayStation 7.
You
Yeah,
mean
PlayStation
6?
7 because PlayStation 6 is going to jump to 80 unless they do it early. But 80 is going to be the norm in the PlayStation 6 generation. We're probably going to have 90 in the PlayStation 7.
Okay.
Who knows what the fucking economy is going to look like in 2045?
We're not gonna be buying games anymore. We're gonna be trying to,
Downloading
We're going to be
grow
going
pirates
into
and
the
stuff.
Matrix. Right.
We're
The
gonna be
Matrix.
doing-
Johnny
be-
Silverhand.
We're gonna be doing Sword Art Online. We're gonna be going into the games themselves. Is
We're
that
going to
what
be
we're
solo
doing?
leveling and shit. Hey, I just finished season 2 peak.
Is it really that good?
Alright.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
it is that good.
It is.
Yeah.
All right,
It is.
I gotta
Get back
watch
on
it.
that train.
I gotta watch
Don't
it.
sleep on Shadow. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
All right. Okay, so anything else on this $80-$90 games? Chat, you guys got
It sucks.
any other?
It sucks. Don't
Can I get
support
my
it.
elephants in the room or
Thank God for my employee discount.
Listen to you. Don't support it, right? But you're
Yeah,
day
wait,
one.
This is the elephant you keep mentioning, Riku.
I said, do we have time to mention some of my elephants in the room when it comes
Yeah,
to
go
this,
ahead.
or-
Why do you have more than one
We're good.
elephant? Is one not big enough?
No, it's not. But I can't even remember the second one, so maybe we won't even get to that. But
Lord?
the first one was the fact that I asked this question back when the Nintendo Switch was the bee's knees, and it was the fact that
Bees knees.
Nintendo combined their handheld and their home console demographics into one. They did a fusion so that they can make a comeback from what the Wii U tarnished their reputation, right? So I asked the question during the time that everyone had their Nintendo Switches and they were out on the feet twerking on their Nintendo Switch. What will the next Nintendo successor look like? Will it just be another Switch? right? So
Mm.
because of the fact that up to the Switch, the Nintendo has always been about. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Lord. Nintendo has seemed to have consistently showcased some sort of innovative gimmick, particularly when it comes to their home consoles, right? It seems like after Nintendo 64, there was always some sort of home console gimmick that they had going on all the way up to the Switch. And the Switch's thing was the fact that it was a hybrid, right? So now that we're on the Nintendo Switch 2, and I accessed during the Nintendo Switch time, what's going to be the big change in gimmick or whatnot? Or did Nintendo put themselves in a situation to where making this decision of combining both of their demographics together, yes, it was a great financial decision, and now the Nintendo Switch is the second best-selling console of all time and whatnot. But moving forward, are they going to continue with this combined hybrid demographic, or are
Riku, I need you to know this has been the most long-winded way of asking. Are they going to keep it a hybrid? Like, bro, we get what you're going to say.
Yeah,
get to it.
Get to the point, man. Like, speed up your take a speech class, my guy. Up your speech skill. Like, god damn, bro. Okay, go ahead.
Are we getting a Switch 3?
Yeah, I think so.
So the handheld,
I really don't know.
Handheld only is over. Console only is over. It's Switch 3, Switch 4, Switch 5. It's Switch until they're following the PlayStation thing now, right? It's numbers.
I think Nintendo has broken a mold with. The only way I can see them not doing a Switch 3 is if the Switch 2 doesn't sell well. So if the Switch 2 sells well, I see Nintendo doing it again, because at the end of the day, they've broken a mold as they're the guys that do handheld consoles, right? And especially with regards to all the handheld consoles we have coming out right now, with the Steam Decks and the ROG Allies and all that kind of stuff. Unless, of course, Nintendo's new console, the Switch 2, does not sell well, I see no reason why they would actually think, hey, you know what? Let's go and try to make another Wii U or something like that. So, yeah,
because we're hearing the criticisms already, right? Everyone's talking about, the Switch 2 isn't innovative; it's just the Switch 1, right?
I think that's just people on Twitter complaining for the sake of complaining, because I don't like when they had the issue of naming it Switch 2, it's going to end up like Wii U because people don't understand it. It was like, oh yeah, they had so much trouble when they went from PlayStation 1 to 2, right? Like, there is nothing wrong with numerical order. But I think the only timeline where we see Nintendo differentiate from this is a timeline where they move their home office to the States and they leave Japan, because I feel like the Switch is as successful, at least for Nintendo in Japan, as it is because it's a handheld. People in Japan, they don't do any form of home console gaming anymore pretty well. So unless culture in Japan changes or they shift, look at Sony. Sony shifted their shit over to North America, and we haven't gotten another PlayStation Vita. I mean, that probably for multiple reasons other than that, but I'm just saying it's a coincidence. So I think that so long as they keep their operations in Japan and they're more Japanese focused, I don't think they're gonna ever separate their handheld and home consoles ever again.
So they have committed to this. This is what Nintendo is going to look like forevermore.
I mean, I think they're still going to try weird ass gimmicks. Like they had like Alarmo come out. They'll probably they might try something stupid like Labo
that's from
again.
A software standpoint. I'm talking about from a hardware standpoint.
From a hardware standpoint, I don't see Nintendo doing something extreme with it. Because remember, like we mentioned earlier, before they used to have
no more Wii gimmicks, no more none of that.
They used to have a handheld line and a console line, and now that it's merged, it's sort of like they've got all their eggs in one basket. It makes sense for them to play the safe game and just go with whatever people are into. And I think if people change their interest in having a handheld console hybrid thing, it would only make sense that it would have to change. But for now, I genuinely do not see a reason for them to try to go over the board with innovation sort of stuff, because even like with this whole mouse control sort of thing, that's not even their thing. Wasn't it like ROG or one of those other guys who did it first? So I think it's for now, I think Nintendo is just playing on the safe side of like what works for them and their market and what are people going to buy. I don't see a problem with it. I think it's fine. At the end of the day,
I don't see an issue with it either. I'm just interested on how people are going to feel about the fact that this is going to be
Which
arguably
people?
just
Twitter.
everybody. You guys, Twitter, all of it. Because like I said, I always felt like Nintendo was the ones that remember, they always said Nintendo is different. Nintendo is just doing their own thing. Nintendo's always the one doing the innovative gimmick that we
But
like.
they
That's why I
only
like
do-
Nintendo over PlayStation.
They only do integrated gimmicks when they're behind, because they usually like if it like the GameCube didn't do too well, so they came out with something innovative with the Switch. I mean the Wii, and then the Wii did fine, so they kind of innovated with the next one, but it was kind of the same thing with the Wii U. 3DS came out. 3DS is not really that innovative. It's like within the same scope as a DS. Like they didn't go from the DS to the Switch, for example. So they only innovate when they really innovate, like completely rehaul the thing, unless they're falling behind. So I think I think if the Switch 2 ends up being like an Xbox One type deal or a God forbid Wii U type deal, then they might have to really like go back to the wall and really innovate. But like even if it's moderately successful, yeah, I think they'll go to a Switch 3.
And what do you think is going to happen? You gave me two paths, but what do you think is going to happen? Are we getting a Switch 3?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be
Switch 3,
$60.
Yeah, I think unless it fails, unless the Switch 2 fails, they're gonna keep going with it. Switch 3. They're not gonna go GameCube 2. They're not gonna go Switcheroonie 5 or whatever name,
Not the Switcheroonie.
whatever they want to call it. They're gonna keep it right in line with what they have. They're not gonna.
I think the only way the Switch 2 fails is due to pricing. I think if that pricing stuff is too much for people the general public to be willing to spend on a console in this day and age, I think then yes, it could probably not hit the goals of what they're expecting, which is I think the goals they're expecting are Switch level goals, or at least just underneath it. But
I actually think as well, if not to cut you off, but I also think as well. Sorry, my bad. If I just had this thought hit me as he was saying that, but I also feel like one of the reasons why they will never go multi-plat or put their stuff on PC is because their hardware would stop selling if people can play Mario on Steam. So that's
100%.
another reason why I don't think they're ever going to do that.
Yeah. I also I think like Nintendo likes having control. I think if they
so too.
on
They saw
on another platform-
They saw mods of their games on PC, bro. They're pulling everyone's digital copies immediately, revoking every key.
Everybody
like
getting
control.
sued. Everybody getting freaking.
It's like this
garnished.
Krabs meme with the TV. This never happened, and he takes the dude's eyesight, put it back in the TV.
Man, speaking of which, actually, I'll say that for after pod for a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we know people are always going to complain. And obviously, one of the complaints we're going to see and probably going to have to deal with moving forward, if there's going to be a Switch 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, is the fact that people are going to complain about they missed the heydays when Nintendo was way more innovative, and now they're just like PlayStation with numbers, and all they care about is making their
It'll be a vocal
and
minority.
I think that matters.
I think it's a minority. Yeah, it's not going to be.
Here's the thing, right? I'm fine with it if that means that they will focus more on innovative software than innovative hardware. Because obviously, when you do the gimmicks, it's hit or miss, right?
Yeah.
The Wii sold well, but like how many niggas was really out here twerking with the Wiimote 24/7? Not that.
Keep in mind as
right?
well with the Switch 2, it's not even like they've 100% like foregone gimmicks entirely. That new game they have with like the amputee bulge basketball, that would only be possible with two mice. And like, what other company is going to sit down and be like, we're going to design a game for two mice? So that falls into gimmick. I've seen a lot of reviewers saying that like the way they use the webcam. A lot of people were comparing it to like the iToy for the PlayStation. I never messed with that, so I'm not sure what that was like.
But like, I understand they're still doing gimmicks, but what I'm saying is that it's more so like there's major gimmicks and there's minor gimmicks. And PlayStation has been doing minor gimmicks since the PlayStation 2. Like I said, they had the iToy. iToy was a gimmick, but it was a minor gimmick. It wasn't something that's significant that you really needed with the console. Same thing with PlayStation 3 and its 6-axis, to PlayStation 4 and its touchpad, to PlayStation 5 and its light bar.
What else you got?
They are minor gimmicks. Point is, they are minor gimmicks, and I feel like that kind of falls. But my point is that kind of that feels like it falls in a minor gimmick of. I was trying to think like PlayStation. My point is PlayStation has always been doing minor gimmicks, and it feels like that's what whatever the Switch 3 is going to come out with. Yeah. You could say the rumble triggers. The guy in the comments said rumble triggers, but Xbox kind of did that already. The point is minor gimmicks. It feels like when the Wii did it, when the Wii U did it, those felt like major gimmicks. Like this is like the thing of the console. Like I feel like the major gimmicks for Nintendo are over. Yeah, we'll still see the minor gimmicks. Like for the Switch 2, the thing is the mouse.
But why would you want to innovate when you're already successful?
I'm not saying why would you want to. I'm saying I know there's going to be people that are going to complain about the fact
people
that
always complain about anything. You could say that about anything. You could say people complain about anything, can't you?
It's a minority, really. I mean, if it was a majority kind of thing, then yeah, maybe. But because of the fact that minority is so small and probably are not going to affect, like Nintendo's bottom line for the most part, it doesn't really matter. I think it's just.
I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess when it comes to saying Nintendo's different, Nintendo's in a realm of its own. I'm gonna need those comments to shut the fuck up now too.
Just block them on. Just block them on X. That's all.
I think it matters to you, Riku. That's what I think. I think you are keen on this.
Because you always hear niggas talk about the fact that Nintendo's different. Nintendo's special. Nintendo, you can't treat Nintendo like these other companies. When they're doing the same, when they're more in line of doing the same thing with this, I'm gonna need those comments to shut the fuck up, respectfully.
Okay.
We'll see about that.
For the Twitter battles, ready already.
I know, right? He got the Twitter battles. Like he's trying to make sure, Riku.
That's why I tried to make sure to cover all of my ground when I even said y'all said it was long-winded and 1.8. People in the comments were saying I was cooking. Point is, I want to make sure I got
one
all
person
of that
said
on
you
the
were
table.
cooking. They were probably crazy. So let's just.
Lord,
Riku's already scripted his responses, man. He's got like a folder full of responses already.
Yeah,
if someone says this, I'll just paste that. Yeah.
Next time you have a thought, have Chat GPD, put it all
fuck
in.
It, I'm not condensing
put
shit.
Grump.
Fuck you.
Get Grump. You can use Grump on X.
Not to be high and mighty and say Nintendo is built different, but I will say that in 10 or 20 years, if Microsoft and Sony are done making games, Nintendo will still be here making games.
I think Microsoft and Sony will still be here, but I think they will just be making games.
I don't know about Microsoft.
I think they're just going to be publishers. I think they'll just be publishers.
The only reason PlayStation exists is because of the spite of Nintendo. So I don't know if they're going anywhere. I think them motherfuckers are arguably as stubborn as Nintendo. The people that create. So. Yeah, PlayStation is a very stubborn company when it comes to certain things. Xbox, no, those guys are wishy-washy. I don't know if they're going to be here the next 3 generations.
I think with PlayStation,
I don't know if they're going to be here after this generation.
Yeah, they're definitely not. I think PlayStation is a different company now since they moved to the US. So I think I could see them becoming a publisher.
Look at Hiroki Totoki and them. They're doing a lot of stuff for Japan again. So
are they now?
I don't know what they're doing.
Did they announce a Gravity Rush live-action movie? Who asked for that?
What?
The people that wanted Japan studio still. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, we wanted games, not movies, especially on a live action one.
Okay. All right. Anything else we need to talk about? Any last minute Switch stuff?
I had another elephant in the room, but I don't remember it. So we are
the
safe.
Switch dock.
It probably would have took you like 10 minutes to get across that elephant. So I'm almost glad. But what
I think the only thing I can think about is the dock is gonna, if you want an extra dock, it's like $100 and something US for an extra dock. So
jeez, and I swear
isn't the same? Wait, isn't that the same for what it was before? Like the original
was it 100?
I feel like it was still expensive.
I think it was 114 in Canada, so I'm not sure what that would have been in US.
Right, 80.
I do have something to say in regards to the Switch because someone did bring it up in the comment section.
What's that?
Patapong and everybody's golf coming to the Nintendo.
Dude, Hot Shots Golf, let's fucking go.
I do find it very interesting since those are PlayStation
things.
those are PlayStation IPs making their not even just making their way to the Nintendo Switch. They get their announcements for the Nintendo Switch before we even like know that if they are actually coming to the PlayStation. And
yeah.
I find it very interesting that more PlayStation games are because we had isn't Horizon a Lego on the Switch as well?
Lego Horizons on Switch. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's sold
Horizon.
the best on there because Lego games usually do.
This kind of backs up my point I was making earlier. You know, I see PlayStation and Xbox becoming publishers in the future. I see them as just like, look, we make more money selling on other platforms.
They
And
always
when
been publishers.
I know, but what I mean, like their primary focus being on publishing and not so much on consoles. I could see PlayStation just saying, hey, you know what, we just make really good games and release them on everything. You know, so yeah, I see no problem here. I'm good. I'm good with big console manufacturers becoming publishers, and we just live in a new utopia of handheld gaming PCs. That's basically
as long as the Nintendo's not doing it, right? Nintendo games stay on Nintendo. Those are the only true exclusives now. And
I think it's just like you said earlier. I think it's just if Nintendo went multiplat, it would hurt them a lot.
So everyone's twerking on the feet for Dust Bloods being exclusive to Nintendo. That's not
Wait, it's exclusive? It's actually exclusive?
Yeah, Dust Bloods is exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2. They made that loud and clear at the end of the trailer.
Oh, wow.
So
I think Nintendo is publishing it.
Yeah, I think they are. That's what I think.
Okay.
So
I just think it's funny that Sony got Bloodborne and Nintendo's got Bloodborne 2.
Quote unquote Bloodborne 2. Of course, when Bloodborne 2, if ever gets announced, that'll be, that'll break the internet. PX6 style.
I yawned when I saw that trailer.
All right. Anything else we want to talk about, or are we good? That's all
I think I got my net up.
You sure? There's not anything left in there?
Yeah, there was one in there, but it kind of came and went. It's gone now.
Okay. Maybe next time.
I should have wrote it down. I should have wrote it down. I'll write it down next time.
Did we talk about GameCube NSO? That's pretty neat. I see Skies of Arcadia on there.
I think we talked about GameCube
more than just third parties.
We did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We did win before you came, but yeah. Skies of Arcadia is cute that it's on there. Would have preferred it.
It hasn't gotten like a remaster yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised. That's a weird one.
Doesn't know it exists. It's wild. They're bringing back Shinobi, Jet Set, Crazy Taxi. They bring back everything. Not Skies of Arcadia.
Nah, fuck that game. even though it's a good game, but I feel like that's what they're saying.
Crazy. You feel like that's one of those games when it comes out, it'll come and go, like a lot of these classical remasters that have been coming out lately.
I hope not. That game is really good, so I don't know. I gotta go back and replay that game. I feel like when I played it, it was just like it was good.
It's like a lot of these classic JRPGs that everyone was twerking for years on. It finally comes out, and then they just kind of come and go.
Yeah,
like Suikoden Remaster. Like who here is playing Suikoden Remaster?
Not yet.
Not even your Queen Lady Pelvic. The
Xenoblade wasn't out. I would be. It's in the house. I'm just not playing it.
Just kind of came and went. I don't know.
I also wonder as well if it's because I know obviously third parties with stronger games are going to try and port to Switch. I'm wondering if Bandai's going to try and port like Tales of Arise, or if they don't think it's going to. Because I feel like Arise would probably do fine, but I mean, I probably wouldn't. Let me meet you. It's a PS4 game, Shadow.
I think
Tales of Arise has warranted a EO from me at this point.
That's fair.
I think a lot of publishers are going
the fact that it was the best-selling Tales of game, regardless if it was the first one to be worldwide. It's also the highest rated. Was it the highest rated one as well?
The one, I think I've said that now that it's an eel to me now because I played and finished Tales of Grace's remaster, and I'm just like, this is a fucking Tales game. This is a fucking Tales game. I don't know what the fuck Arise was. This was a Tales game. Okay, anyway, that was my thought process.
You had to get that out.
Yeah.
I can see publishers doing remake versions of games and dumping it on the Switch just to get that extra repurchase, because they're going to be people who are going to double dip at the right price. Of course, they're going to be people who double dip, so it's going to happen. We're going to get Switch version
7 remake at $80.
Yeah.
Alrighty. The hell's up with your mic, Riku? What's going on there, man? You got something? You got
Turn
another
his
one,
AC on.
Chandler? The freak? All right, I guess
I
that's
think
a sign.
this is when we find out Riku's actually a robot that Falcon
what-
made. That's his.
That's what it seems like.
That's
He's
his
a
stuff.
Falcon plant. Yeah. Oh, SRW. You guys want to talk about the new SRW?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we
First one in
should.
fucking 4 years. God help me.
First, let's talk about the fact that is beating yours and Devil's allegations. So, if you go into the YouTube search bar right now, you'll see that the English announcement, not Japanese, the English Bandai Namco Entertainment channel has 178,000 views for the trailer that debuted 10 days ago.
Oh, they're gonna say beating the allegations because you can pre-order it physically and digitally in North America.
Oh, that too.
What's the allegations from me again? I guess
That is niche.
Oh, I mean, that's still okay. All right, you're the only.
All right, for comparison,
it's like Devil May. It's like
let me
Devil
talk.
May
I'm
Pi
talking. Let me
says
talk.
it's just like outside of you, you're the only people that talk about SRW like that. But go ahead.
If you go to freaking Trails Beyond the whatever the hell it is, it has
man.
SRW has triple the views for his debut trailer over that. So cut this bullshit out. But blah blah blah. No one's heard of SRW. You motherfuckers need to expand your horizons.
I don't know,
Anyways,
man.
back to the
thing,
game
right?
itself.
No one ever said Trails wasn't niche. Trails is niche as fuck.
Riku, this ain't about Trails right now.
You just brought it up.
Anyways, let's get back to the
Trails as an
SRW
example.
discussion.
I countered it, and they said this isn't about Trails. What the fuck?
He was bringing it up as an example, not for you to go in. Go ahead.
New Super Robot Wars has been announced. It's the first game in 4 years. It is going to be an anime-only game. So,
Oh, interesting.
yeah, don't. And it's going to be coming to PC, all the systems, Switch 2,
Xbox.
obviously. That's not a real system, please.
Lord?
Okay, my bad.
But yeah, looking forward to this. We actually don't know the whole roster yet. They only did a semi-reveal of it. But it is looking to be good.
Question.
Although I will... Okay, go ahead.
Question. So I of course I don't know a lot about Super Robot War games besides, Endless Frontier 1 and 2. But like are these like the same collabs or are there new ones? Like ones you never
Every
seen
game has
before?
new collabs.
Everything has new collabs?
game-
Like it's not the same.
No game has like the same as the last game. Every single one is different.
But like is it like
remakes.
the usual suspects? You got Code Geass and I don't know, Girl and Gall or something like that, or is it just like one or maybe two collabs or just a decent amount?
I mean, the only stuff that's always there is usually like Zeta Gundam and like the really popular stuff. But aside from that, like Code Geass has only been in a couple of games.
To put in perspective, the series list is usually, 12 to 18 series, something like that. You usually will see repeats of 4, maybe 5 in the modern day.
Okay. Because I wondered like if there's any new mechas that they was gonna add or anything like that, but I don't think any new.
Every
mecha
series
anime.
has new. Yes,
But
every series has new. There's never been one without a new series in it.
So did they? I don't know. Is it Gundam? Gundam. It's Gundam, right? Gundam. They put Gundam with it, right? Or is it?
They got them there.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, is it like what's that new one that came? Not new. It's probably like 4 or 5 years old now. The
Which
one with the
one?
girl.
Mercury?
Yeah, that is in Y. the new
Oh, okay,
game.
that's in Y. Okay. All right, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, this is its debut game.
Okay. They should put Zone of the Enders in there.
Oh, Bowser
Been barking up
that
that tree for years.
I need to see Jehubi. I need to see Anubis.
I need to see some Divine Knights. Okay, let's go.
Some people have also been barking up that tree.
That's not bad. That's
Divine Knights
not
are
bad.
shockingly
Yeah,
popular.
that's not
They
bad.
did
Yeah.
the
Seven
fucking-
Divine Knights, man. Come on now.
Listen, bro, they did fucking Sakura Wars. Ain't no one give a shit about Sakura Wars. They can do Trails.
The issue with Trails is
I
is
know,
how you
I
adapt
know.
the story with everything else. That's the issue with Trails.
I mean, they were able to do something with Ease versus Trails in the Sky, also coming out this year. So it's not like they haven't
Same
done.
series,
found a way.
same.
I mean, I
same,
don't necessarily
franchise, same
think,
people. I don't know. I don't think it's.
No, we're
I don't
talking
think they
about,
really have
like, crossover
have that many
releases.
issues.
But I know
adapting
SRW
Trails.
can be very strict when it comes to trying to make their crossovers make sense. So I guess that's where Bao's coming from.
Okay.
Yes, they take that very seriously. The plot.
I mean, they can always just, if they wanted to adapt the plot, they can just essentially just have Erebonia be one of its own continents in the world, and then have a few other anime mixed in with it.
But then what time period?
I mean,
would it
Code
be?
Geass would work with.
Would
work with
Crossbell be getting
Code Geass
his
would-
anal? Oh, I'm sorry. What? Never mind.
Dude, it doesn't matter where you are. Crossbell's getting taken over. It doesn't matter what
All
town
you
you're in.
did-
Britannians are taking over Crossbow.
You know what Beyond Horizon? Hey, I think the best way for them to try and do something with that is if you know how Cold Steel 4 ends and what they talked about, there is I feel like there's an opportunity to try and like latch
Just
it in.
whisk them away, stick them in a pocket dimension, and then bring them back after the game's over.
Especially if you know what Beyond the Horizon means and all of that stuff. Lore wise, I think there is a way. If the writers over there at SRW take it that strict and they're that good, they can find something with the little openings within there.
Is this SRW game like how it looks? Is it graphical increase or is it the same as
The engine.
I don't know. I'm looking at it right now. And like this looks better than what I've seen. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
The engine's the same, I'm pretty sure. But
Okay.
Well,
It
keep in
looks
mind as
a lot
well,
better.
they ditched the PS4. I mean, they're still developing it for Switch, but I think they did make subtle changes to the engine to support some newer high fidelity cut-ins and stuff. So I think we'll really see, like with like the rest of the debuts pop. I think we'll really see some really crazy stuff.
Okay. So, Bob, you want to get this game for me so I can play it?
no, you're a grown man. You got your pan money. All right,
It's your plan money.
What you mean, sir? Don't you want somebody to get into the SRW games? You know,
I'm not Riku. I ain't your sugar daddy.
I'm uncultured swine. Or
I help
aren't
those who
I
help
not?
themselves.
Come on, man. All right, we'll see. I'll see if I can get my friend to let me borrow it. I know he's gonna get it. All right, is that everything? We Gucci out here in this bitch?
Gucci.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that was everything for the most part.
I feel like there was something that we are missing, and it's glaring, and I can't remember the name, but I'm sure it's fine.
Is
You'll remember when the show's over.
I know, right? As soon as I
Yeah,
hit the
pretty
end
well.
stream button, it's gonna be like, oh, we should have talked
I
about
was saying,
that.
hold on. Let me just go look back through the last two directs real quick. Yeah, continue doing.
I think we got all the
Oh
directs.
yeah, I
here
got. Wait, unless we talked about this in the
Tamagotchi Life. I agree. We could talk about it.
Lord.
No.
You mean how they fucking mispronounced it? Crazy. Saga Frontier 2 Remaster.
That's what it
We talked about-
was.
Did we talk about that? No, I don't think we did.
Wait, what game?
Saga
Saga
Frontier.
Saga Frontier 2 Remastered. Because it was at the direct before this direct.
Oh, also, there's the new.
that.
I don't play these games, but that new Somnium Files game or whatever.
Nah.
I still got to play the first one. So
I say, Devil's not here to defend that, so
Is that like a
where I was
visual
thinking of
novel puzzle game or something like
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Or?
it's
Yeah.
always visual novels.
Okay.
Yeah.
About Saga Frontier 2 Remastered, a lot of people consider that right beside Romancing Saga 2 as the best Saga game, and it's finally coming out. The way people treat Saga Frontier 2 is the way Star Ocean
is it
fans
out?
treated. Yeah, it came out. It came out the day
Oh.
it got announced. It was the shadow drop.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's out. The way Saga fans treat Saga Frontier 2 is the way Star Ocean fans treat Star Ocean 2. Like this is the peak right here. This is the epitome.
Now wait a minute,
So-
Riku. Isn't it just like you just said? Like these classic JRPGs are coming out, and then like, oh,
Mhm.
that's about it. Like, has anybody been talking about this one?
Not a goddamn soul. Not a goddamn soul I haven't seen talk about Saga Frontier 2, and it's out right now. I don't see anyone on the
Saga's
feed
hella
talking about it.
niche,
Nothing.
even among niche stuff.
Oh yeah, you are correct about that. That one is niche as fuck. Saga's been niche since its existence, unless you're in Japan, which is apparently Saga's pretty big in Japan. But even amongst the big boys, it's still rather niche. But yeah, I mean, I think we have all of the. Wait, do we have Saga 3? I think we do have Saga 3. And I think they said they're working on a Romancing Saga 3 remake, but we don't know about that. Point is, we have all of the relevant Saga games on modern platforms now. Good for the Saga franchise. People loved Romancing Saga 2 remake, so hopefully they make a Romancing Saga 3 remake and they can go from there and the franchise can be better. But good for them. But it came and went.
All right. Let's get up out of here, guys. Appreciate everybody joining. We had a lot of good discussion here. Let's get out with these outros. Go ahead, Q.
I think before I say, all the buy and all that kind of stuff, we've got like 70 people watching and we've got 48 likes. So I think we can make that look a little bit better before we get out of here. That being said, it was your husband of dreams. We're here for them waifus, and don't let anyone tell you that waifus are outdated. That being said, it was good. It's a good conversation, and
Marvel Rivals definitely showcased that waifus are not outdated.
Sorry, what?
Marvel Rivals.
Oh my God, Emma Frost! Oh my God, she is so fucking hot. God,
we
damn.
forgot about Emma Frost. That's correct. That is correct. It's a good thing that we've mentioned that Emma Frost is coming.
My feed has been crazy. My X feed has been crazy with Emma Frost. I'm like, God damn, you guys go to work quick.
Emma Frost is waifu now, and everyone is gonna be talking about Emma and all that kind of good stuff. I think before her was the Invisible Woman. So yeah, waifus still exist. I think.
It's fascinating for X-Men and not X-Men, but for Marvel, it's like these characters have been around for a while. I remember everybody going crazy over Psylocke, and I'm like, Psylocke's been around since the 90s. How did you guys not realize she was this hot from the get-go?
Oh yeah,
like what the hell?
Psylocke.
Like, where was the fan art then? Like, what the hell?
I was a Psylocke sim back in when she was in Marvel vs. Capcom. I was like, who is she?
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of crazy.
I am a certified Emma Frost fan. She's one of my favorite Marvel characters, and I will say a lot of y'all probably would actually not like her if you got to know her.
Yeah, she's not.
Well, because
she's bad. She knows it, and she wrecks a bunch of relationships.
Yeah,
she's like a good bad girl, isn't she?
She's like a top.
She's an
married to like Tony Stark or some shit.
They're divorced already.
Lord?
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me. I'll blame Tony.
Okay. Anyway, Blake, go ahead.
This has been Westtown HD. I appreciate everybody for showing up. Had some good talks. I don't know if we're gonna have another podcast this month or it's gonna be next month, but next time, depending on when it is, we'll probably get to talk about Expedition 33. I think Shadow and I may be the only two picking it up. I 100%. Think so. We might have a panel. Okay, Bal's gonna be playing it too. Okay, nice. And we didn't get to talk about the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD remasters, but those look neat. I don't know when those are coming, but those are cool. So, but yeah, either way, appreciate everyone for coming out. We'll catch you guys in the next one.
All right, Riku.
Riku-san, the only one. Thank you guys for sticking through me and my long-winded ass. There's a reason Trails is my favorite franchise.
Hey, yo,
if you could talk this fast when you're explaining something, we'd be good, right, Bao? I'm pretty sure we'd be good, but okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just continue.
Bao, go ahead.
Thank you all for another HPMP episode. It has been fun. Be sure to check out Super Robot Wars Y when it releases. I am actually doing another video on it, the reaction video to the trailer. But I'm doing a unique video on it that it's a bit hard to describe, but if you have any interest at all in the series, be sure to check it out when it comes. It's something I've never done before, so it's exciting.
All right, guys, and you know me, Mr. JRPG Shadow. We're going to come up with a video sometime this week. And people, I will catch you guys next time. Peace.
Peace out,
people.